Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone watching around the globe, and welcome to the official start of the NRL Season 5, where it's 2025 and the first week of the group stage. Last week, we started with 64 drivers. 8 were eliminated at the end of pre-qualifying, and now we have 28 drivers per day split into 2 divisions battling for honours. Yesterday saw our amazing hosts of Toon, Slowmo and Leo spectacularly opening up Season 5 for the Friday heats with 2 intense and exciting races to kick off life in the new season. But today is the turn of the Saturday drivers to be unleashed upon the tarmac and shifting into top gear ahead of our 2 exciting races we are bringing to you today. I'm your host, Floor Genius Gaming, nervous and shaking in anticipation for what is to come. Luckily, though, I have 2 beautiful commentators alongside me with their golden mics to help calm my nerves. Bringing us from the rear is T-Case and Tatty. Firstly, good day to you, T-Case, and how you feeling?
Ooh, good day to you too, Flawed. I am feeling good. We were treated to some amazing races last night. We got 2 more amazing races today, and on paper, they look like they're pretty similar to yesterday's, but I can tell you they are very, very different. And I cannot wait to see what these drivers have in store for us.
Indeed, yes. And lastly, but certainly not least, Tatty, good day to you, and how excited are you?
Hey, I'm super excited as well. Let me tell you a secret. I let myself forget what the splits are today so that it'd be a complete surprise to me. I know Division B is now accidentally scrolled too far down the script, but I still don't know Division A, and I'm very excited to just jump right in. I know it's ovals, but I remember.
Kind of, but we'll get into that.
Well, I did see the Division B race from last night, and that was really fun, incredibly commentated on by our counterparts on Friday night.
Yep, 100% agree with you with that one, Tatty. Yeah, will be a little bit of a surprise to you, and I've got a nickname for our first race as well. But before we get into that one, NRL is sponsored by Henke's Tavern, established in 1955 in the Old Town Florissant, the finest cuisine and bar in St. Louis, where you can dine in and dine out, play games and watch all your sports games, including the NRL, from the comfort of the bar. We give a warm welcome from everyone in the NRL HQ, and a big thank you for sponsoring us throughout Season 5, because if you ain't first, we're open to 1 a.m. And struggling to balance those books for the end of your tax year? Why not seek a professional, making your life stress-free and steer clear of tax troubles with Little J CPA, our new sponsor for the whole of the NRL Season 5. A big thank you to both Little J CPA and Henke's Tavern for your continued support. So before we get into today's event, here's a quick reminder of the results from the pre-qualifying last week and how that fared for the drivers. Starting with the fastest 14 drivers qualifying into our Saturday Division A. T-Case, take it away, please.
All right, so as comes to no surprise, in P1 we have Wid with the fastest time of a 1:16.944. Followed by PHG Lyric in P2 with a 1:17.329, followed very, very closely by MMR Moose in P3 with a 1:17.364. Then in P4, we have PHG Salamander MN with a 1:17.731. Then in P5, we have S7R Nuke with a 1:17.896. Cyrus Nicky in P6 with a 1:17.926. PHG Caper in P7 with a 1:17.949. Then in P8, we have Bandit 1 with a 1:17.981. That is 8 drivers below the 118 mark, and then it gets real tight here with Digital Relay and P9 118.009, PHG Sheldologist and P10 with a 118.013, GI Boku and P11 with a 118.015, Felmora and P12 with a 118.035. Then we have Luis and P13 with a 118.069, and finishing it out, getting into Division A, is Almost Podium, P14 with a 118.092. I love how close that was there at the end.
Yeah, that was super close indeed. And Tati, if you can read us out the next 14 drivers qualifying into the Saturday Division B, please.
No problem. So in 15th, we have Old Man Pip with a 118.210. Lead Pencil, Team PHG, took 16th place with a 118.424. Spawn is in 17th with a 118.478. In 18th, we have BHR Johnny Boy with a 118.540. 19th is Santa Miguel with a 118.571. Slick SHVR2 took 20th with a 118.719. Parquet, familiar name, Parquet rather, in 21st with a 118.827. In 22nd, we've got P. Rosal with a 118.909. And then 23rd, PHG Horn of Plenty with his 119.101. BHR Palias Pango took 24th with a 119.167. Bandit in 25th with a 119.264. MD Hop 2 with a 119.401. And S7R Shadow Chef in 27th with a 119.5. Finally, in 28th, we've got PHG Arrow, got a 119.504 right behind Shadow Chef.
Excellent stuff. And yeah, good luck to all the drivers today. So now it's on to the first of the two races we have planned for you today. The first round of our Division B group stage. We are in America for this Saturday Division B Round 1, nicknamed the Hash Brown Arena, for our visit of Blue Moon Speedway in the Ford Mustang Group 3 car. Track length is 2 miles with just 3 corners in this oval-like configuration, with a 10-minute qualifier ahead of a rolling start to a 39-lap race. Details of this beast of a car is 568 brake horsepower at 7,000 RPM, weighing in at 1,300 kilograms in this naturally aspirated car, which is front-engined with power to its rear. Balance of power is enabled, but downforce and brake balance can be tweaked. Drivers will need to keep it away from the walls as mechanical damage is set to heavy, with tyre wear set at ×3 and a fuel consumption rate at ×2. All racing compounds are available, which means the strategy is completely open. As we are in the group stage, it now opens up the points allocation, with 25 points going to the race winner, 18 for second, 10th. Sorry. Oh, sorry. So 15 for third, and in sequential order down to 10th with 1 point. Fastest lap gives an additional bonus point to the given driver. Top 14 across both Friday and Saturday, combined on points at the end of round 3, will secure their passage to the finals on Saturday, April the 26th. So the lineup in Division B are as follows. We have Bandit, we have BHR Johnny Boy, BHR Polaris Pango, MD Hop 2, Old Man Pip, P Rosal, Parquet, PHG Arrow, PHG Horn of Plenty, PHG Lead Pencil, S7R Shadow Chef, Santa Miguel, Slick SHVR2, and we have Spawn. So please make sure you do check out their streaming profiles applicable to them, as I'm sure they'll be streaming from their POV too. So make sure you do hit that subscribe button or that follow button for them. Keep that support up for these drivers, and make sure you have a tab open for the NRL so you don't miss any of the racing action. So qualifying will be getting underway very shortly, but TK, what are your thoughts on this Division B race?
Well, Flott, we got ourselves a classic tri-oval, and this is going to be very exciting. I don't know if you're familiar with a tri-oval, but these drivers are going to go fast. They're going to turn left. They're going to go fast again. They're going to turn left. And believe it or not, they're going to go fast one more time and turn left. Wouldn't you agree with me on that one, Tati?
Yeah, absolutely. Some of the most exciting racing you'll ever see in your life. All that going fast and turning left. Drivers will need to be careful about turns 1 and 2 for sure. Turn 3, flat out back onto that straight. Use the slipstream, see what you can get done.
Mm-hmm.
I love the accent there.
We thought we'd have a little fun with that. You know, Tati and I are both Southerners, and
we are.
We figured it would be a proper start to this race to get some good Southern action going.
I am 20 minutes away from Atlanta Motor Speedway. I will do this.
Just a quick word of note: we've got a member for 15 months from Skeletor saying, "Who is the commentator's curse going to tonight?" I wonder. Good luck to the drivers, as well as a member for 3 months from Brigsby saying, "Go BHR." Well, best of luck to all the drivers, because they're just coming out onto the circuit now to start this 10-minute qualifier at the Blue Moon Speedway. And and we've also got one from... Sorry, I've missed something. Okay.
Our fellow commentator, Leo.
Yes, I see it now from our fellow commentator, Leo, of $10 donation, saying, "Boogity, boogity, let's go racing." Thank you so much, Leo, and thank you to everyone with the continued support. We really do appreciate it here at the NRL. This will all go to the prize pool for all the drivers and everyone else. In fact, I think I've missed... Yes, I've just missed one as well. So we've got one from Simon Wu-Tang, the Swordsman Berry, with a 99 pence donation. So thank you very much from Simon as well, adding to the prize pot. So, yes, so getting on to the racing action then, it looks like they're already on their flying lap. We have got PHG Lead Pencil, part of the Papa's House of Game on the Logitech G923. His qualifying result was 16th, just narrowly missing out on Division A, as he is about to come across the line with a 48.473, knocking him down to P7, because the leader in qualifying right now is BHR Johnny Boy with a 47.776, but times coming in thick and fast with PHG Arrow in second and BHR Polaris Pango in third place. But yeah, of course, this is a very short lap here at the Blue Moon Bay Speedway. Can you imagine there'll be quicker times? Because I can imagine that the times will be pretty close together, I think, TKs.
Yeah, I think it is going to be pretty close with this track. I mean, there is a slipstream, and you know, there's some bump drafting. So if you can find yourself a partner to work with you, that's definitely going to improve the time for both drivers. The following car will probably get a little bit quicker time as we watch Pelias and Horn work together. But unlike Daytona last night, this one has a braking zone. You know, Daytona's just flat out. This one, turn one, you do have to brake. Turn three, you might have to lift, so that does hurt as far as the teamwork goes. But if they can get through turn one together and then use each other for the remainder of the lap, I think we'll see some times drop a good bit.
Yeah, I do believe so, T-Case. And Tassie, have you got any experience in oval racing? You know, what are your thoughts on the hash brown arena?
Well, I'm a little disappointed that I don't get to keep this accent on the whole time. I don't think I can. So I do have experience running the hash brown arena actually in GR3s. Granted, that was many physics changes ago. So what I know about this track is, yes, it's super quick, but to TK's point, it's not like Daytona. You're not going to get too much of that like super speedway sort of racing going on, right? You're probably not going to form two lanes. You're probably going to lose more drivers in the train in the corners because braking matters here and acceleration. So it'll be a very interesting race to see. Cooperation will be key. I just don't know if we'll get the same long lines of slipstreaming drivers as we would at other ovals or tri-ovals.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true. And also one thing worth mentioning as well is that bump drafting could come into play here as well, whether it's on qualifying or in the race itself. And it's very important to keep in that slipstream to really get ahead of other drivers. So there could be a string of mind games and race strategies involved in this one, and absolutely can't wait. Also as well with the balance of power changes from the update we had a couple of days ago, could have changed things slightly in this one prior to all the practice they may have put in before the update come in. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how long the tyres last, how long the fuel lasts, and whether or not that's changed anything in their strategies. But yeah, so far we are halfway into this qualifying session already. It looks like that we've got PHG Arrow, Blice Pango, and Johnny Boy occupying the top three with... well, we're on board with Old Man Pip now, of course, making his debut in the NRL this season, and he is firmly tucked into that slipstream of Slick, who is on VR, isn't he? So this is going to be a very scary proposition for the Canadian PhD driver, that is for sure. But Old Man Pip is, as mentioned, making his debut and qualified in 15th position, so just finishing just shy of qualifying into Division A. But it would suggest that maybe he could be one of the favourites in Division B, but he's on a controller, so I do wonder how that controls around a circuit like Blue Moon Speedway. He moves up into P5 though, betters his time by a tenth of a second, 47.8 for him. PHG Horn of Plenty currently occupies 7th position at the moment. He is of course part of the Papa's House of Game on the Logitech G29. He qualified in 23rd last week. You can find him on YouTube at Horn of Plenty 2629, but currently 2.5 tenths off of the fastest lap time at the moment, as he does sink down into 8th position, just being bettered by was it Spawn Black, I think it was. So no, sorry, Spawn is in P9, so my apologies there. I think it was P Rosald that just got the jump on him there. So PhD Lead Pencil though up into 3rd position, so it is so tight at the top, 8,000th of a second separating him to Police Pango in P2, and just 3.5 hundredths of a second separating the top three as well. But yeah, Lead Pencil of course absolute legendary driver, and he did very well in last season's season 4, of course. Grabbed himself a couple of race victories in the group stages, so looking for big things from Lead Pencil. But yeah, so far so good. We're 8 minutes into this qualifying session. T-Case, how's it looking for you?
It's looking great, and I wanted to point out the BHR boys are working together. They hopped up in, well, he's not in P1 anymore, but they hopped up to P1 and 2 by just sticking on each other's bumper. So we're seeing teammates working together. I also have an eye in the picture-in-picture there on Arrow, who was on a good lap until he tagged the wall. And that's one thing we didn't really get into is not only are we going to have heavy damage for hitting that wall, which is going to cause you to pit, but you're also going to get a 1.5 second penalty. And on a track like this where carrying speed and momentum is so important, any type of penalty like that is going to hurt you a lot, because it's going to get you out of the slipstream and really ruin your race.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, I am expecting quite a number of changes throughout the grid. As I say, it looks like it's going to be a bit of a cat and mouse game between the drivers, and a lot of bump drafting involved as well, as they gain that extra speed down the straight and through the corners. As it looks like Spawn has had enough of Shadow Chef's slipstream, although he isn't able to get the pass on him, but maybe gain a bit of speed down the straight. But yeah, Shadow Chef at the moment currently P10. He qualified in 27th ahead of this group stage, and yeah, he'll be looking to propel up the ranking. It is possibly the last lap, maybe 2 laps to go, because we are coming up to the allotted 10-minute qualifying time given. So they'll be looking, in fact they are on the final lap now, so it's now or never to try and propel themselves up on the grid. The Shadow Chef scrapes the wall on the outside, gets a 3-second penalty to boot. He's not going to be able to improve, but can Spawn improve? I don't think he does. No. Sorry, go on, TK.
I want to point out that P. Roswell and Johnny Boy are already showing their hand, letting everybody know what tire they're going to start on. They went ahead and boxed. They were happy with their lap, and unless they make a last-minute change, it looks like they're planning to start on the mediums.
Okay, very, very interesting. Yeah, Parquet looks like he's going to be starting on the softs unless he makes some quick changes there, that is for sure. But yeah, very fast and frantic qualifying session. Quite difficult to keep up with everything going around the circuit there. As we look on Bandit there, 12th position he started. But hey, you know, even if you qualify at the back of the grid though, you know, it doesn't mean anything, because this is a slipstream range. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, means nothing. Sorry to interrupt.
No, that's fine. That's fine. You go ahead. But let's just give you the classified results of this qualifying session in Division B. So P. Rosal does get pole position with a 47.419, 1/10 quicker than BHR Johnny Boy in second position with a 47.523, and that is just 1/100th of a second quicker than PHG Arrow in P3. Then in P4 we got Polaris Pango, again very, very tight. P5 is PHG Led Pencil with a 47.558, which is a 100th separation between the two drivers there. PHG Slick in 6th position ahead of PHG Horn of Plenty in P7, and P8 going to Spawn. 9th position is Old Man Pip ahead of Parquet in the top 10. 11th goes to S7R Shadow Chef ahead of RTS Bandit, who starts from 12th position. 13th is MD Hop ahead of Santa Miguel, who's going to start at the back of the grid. But again, you know, Santa Miguel starts from P14, but means absolutely nothing, because this is going to be a bit of a dog fight and try to use that slipstream to get ahead of the field. Who knows? He may even grab the winning position come the end of the race, T-Case.
Yes, indeed. I think it's going to be a big shakeup. Tire wear is going to be key. Not getting damage is going to be a big one, and we'll see how these strategies play out. I want to point out, Flood, we got a $10 donation from the proprietor, Papa's House of Games. He wants to hear you say, boogity, 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 let's go racing, boys.
I was actually hoping for that line personally, but if you want to do it, Flood, it'd be funny in a British accent.
I can say it double. I don't know about triple, but we're going to try.
It's 3 or nothing.
Boogity.
Boogity, boogity, boogity. You got to come on now. From your chest.
Boogity, boogity. Oh, yeah. Tongue tag. I can't do it. I tried. But thank you so much thank you so much to Papa's House of Game for the $10 donation. Super kind, as well as Roots with the 7-month member subscription, saying good luck, everyone. Thank you to everyone with their kind donations and memberships, which will definitely help out and put a smile on the face of all the drivers entered into this competition, raising the prize pool that little bit further. So yes, can't wait for this one. This is I'm expecting it to be very close. I'm expecting it to be full of drama, and I absolutely can't wait for this one.
Me neither. Ooh, can I say it?
Say it.
Boogity, 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 let's go racing, boys!
There we go.
Yes, it's a rolling start ahead of this 39-lap race. So P. Roswell is going to lead us underway. And off we go into turn number 1. Johnny Boy just behind him in second position, and PHG Arrow in third position as we take this tight left-hander for an oval track, that is. And they are line of stern as we start flying around this oval circuit now. I wonder if we'll see any movers or shakers, as it looks like Johnny Boy is sizing up an opportunity to make a pass with PHG Arrow just behind as well, tucking in and looking to go up the inside to be the new leader of the race, which I'm sure is going to change hands many times, Seikos.
Indeed, we're going too wide. I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it. Arrow trying to make the move stick, but it doesn't quite work out for him. Falls back into the P3, or stays in P3. And what a start, and what a clean start. Everybody made it through. That turn 1 is a doozy. And commentator's curse.
Yep.
Indeed.
Yep, you did it.
Yeah, contact on the outside, putting I think it was P. Russell into the wall there. So yes, or it might have been the other way around. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe we'll get a replay on that one. So this is P. Russell now, I do believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So we've got Johnny Boy just. There we go. Yeah, there's the contact. He got shunted onto the outside wall, which was very unlucky, but does happen in oval races, of course, Tessie.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think he did get a little bit of a bump draft into the braking zone. It's a little bit late for that, and he just couldn't compensate and get the car turned, unfortunately. That's just bad luck there. You got to be careful about where you bump draft, especially in these oval races, for sure. In fact, we were talking about, I think, Arrow maybe making a move. I don't know how much that was making a move or just trying to get out of the slip to avoid too much overlap, you know? Yeah. That's also a thing.
It is. That's a really good point of not wanting to do that bump draft right before that turn. So get out of the slip, give yourself some breathing room, tuck back in. And it did give P. Roswell damage. He's got rear bumper and right rear wheel damage, and he's losing time. And this is going to mess with his strategy. He's on the racing mediums, and I don't know how long he can stay out and not just completely lose his race. And Shadow Chef served a penalty as well. So the grid is splitting up. We have 2 groups now. We have this front pack, and then if you look in the map in the top right corner, kind of a spread out rear pack.
Indeed. I just got to give a quick shout out to Jay the Reels 99 with the $2 donation, saying good luck to everyone. Let's go NRL. I love our community. Well, we love you, Jay. We love you too, Jay, and thank you so much for that kind donation. It is much appreciated. We've also got the legend that is Fernando Button with the 5 gifted McNulty memberships. So thank you so much for that continued support. Absolute legend, Fernando Button. We'll quickly get back to the racing action though, because as you can see, things are changing on the sixpence right now. P. Rosell, who qualified on pole position, down in 10th position, of course, getting shunted to the outside wall. So he's got a lot of work to do if he is to climb back up to the upper echelons of this grid. But of course, we can see that there is a little bit of a gap between Bandit and Old Man Pit for that slipstream train, so perhaps may need to swap up the strategies. But of course, he has got rear aero damage to boot with rear side damage as well, so that is definitely not going to help his cause. But it does look like we've got a train of about 3 cars then in a mini group, with Arrow leading that charge, PhD Slick just behind him, with Polite Pango just behind in that trio, and then I think there was a trio just behind this pack as well, so they'll be needing to work as a team to try and catch up with the top group. But it's going to be interesting to see though, T-Case, with the downforce settings, whether or not like how much of an advantage that that will provide for the drivers. You know, do they sacrifice top speed with cornering speeds, or even tire life? You know, what do you do in this situation, T-Guys?
You know, I'm a plug and play kind of guy. I don't like messing with settings. I just want to hop on and play. But I do know it does make a difference, and I know different drivers are doing different things. I think you want to have a little bit of downforce just because of turn 1. It's going to make that a little bit easier, but tire life is key here. We know fuel's not an issue, so whatever you're going to need to do to make your tires last long is what you need to do. So I bet most of these drivers are doing something slightly different because it is such a huge range on your downforce setting. So some could, you know, be 5 points away from the other, depending on what they found worked best for them.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, I think on our predictions there will be at least one stop from the drivers, as Spawn up into P4 at the moment actually, so he's jumped up 3 positions from qualifying, with Parquet helping him along the way. As mentioned, Old Man Pitt trying to go up the inside, so swaps positions with Lead Pencil, who actually loses out to Horn of Plenty as well, who moves up into 7th position. But yeah, we do predict it's going to be at least a one-stop strategy from the drivers, but it just depends on what tyres they decide to go on. But it looks like quite a number of the drivers have picked the medium tyres, which I think is wise, I think, to be honest. So it will look like they will probably do the medium strategy. Other strategies that could be on play is the racing hards to racing soft strategy. We do predict that the drivers can get up to 30 laps on the hard tyres. The soft tyres obviously being the fastest of the tyre compounds, but the durable, the undurable nature of the soft tyres, should I mention, suggests that they won't get any more than about 10 laps on that tyre. So yes, it is probably about a second quicker. Is it worth using the soft tyres? That is the question though. with pretty high tyre wear, it would suggest that well, I don't know.
Yeah. What we
I think
saw.
maybe it's worth it to take it for the end. If you are going to do the hard soft strategy, you can fight hard on the softs, right? Towards the end of it, it's no longer really time to. Ooh, that was the moment for Slick and the wall there. He almost got into Polias, but I think they're both okay. But anyway, I think you can use the softs to finish out the race. If you do want to fight in those corners and dive in and get position, they will wear out on you. But the good news is in the straight, it doesn't matter. Worn out tires don't matter on the straight. So if you can dive in the corner and be faster coming out of it, I think it's worth it for the last 8 to 10 laps.
That's a really good point. And I mean, we saw in qualifying that those softs didn't last very long before they were diving in the pits, but they were going for optimal times. But I did talk to a few drivers before the race, and they believe that the no stop is possible on the hards. They believe that they can make it the whole way. And I'm going through the field here, and I see that Lead Pencil, Bandit, and MD Hop are all on the hard, so they could be going for that no stopper. And I do want to point out Shadow Chef also on the hards, but that no stopper isn't looking very good because he picked up damage early on, and that's why he had that 1.5 second penalty. So a few drivers are on the racing hards. I would like to see them do the no stopper and see where they finish out, but if they can't quite make it, like Tati was saying, dive in the pits, put on the softs, and do a couple really fast laps.
Well, I mean, just looking at the lap delta at the moment, so it looked like Lead Pencil was losing roughly about a second a lap. It's... P. Rosal in the pit. Yeah, good spot there, Tassie, as well as... Was it Shadow Chef?
Yep.
Yeah, Shadow Chef just dived in as well. So it looks like a changing of strategy then, perhaps not going quite to plan for the two drivers. So swapping it up, and we'll see whether or not that makes a big difference in this race. But we are on board with MD Hop 2, who is making another appearance from season 4, who is looking for better things this time around. He did qualify in P26, so it was pretty tight for him to qualify into this Division B race, but he's using a Thrustmaster TGT and he's on YouTube, so go and support him. He's at MD Hop 95, but at the moment in a bit of no man's land really. He's got no slip in front of him, and it looks like not any drivers to help behind him either. So we get back on board with this group of cars here then. So Spawn is currently heading this train with Horn of Plenty at the back of this quadruple group here. So Horn of Plenty will probably push on Parquet. Parquet will try and push on Old Man Pip, and Old Man Pip probably onto P4 there. So Spawn, of course. So it's quite difficult to see what is happening at the moment, but we are approaching the halfway mark of this race. But if you want details on Horn of Plenty, he is at Horn of Plenty 2629 on YouTube. He qualified in P23 ahead of this Division B race, and he is on the Logitech G29. It looks like Old Man Pip is going to make a move on Spawn, and successfully does it, with Parquet following him through into P5 as well. So Spawn down into P6 with Horn of Plenty just behind him in 7th position and pushing on Spawn. And it's quite interesting really. I thought these drivers would be pushing each other on to look at the bigger picture and try and catch up with the group in front, but it looks like they're overtaking each other on each of the turns. So I do wonder whether or not that is slowing them down, as they are 3.7 seconds away from the lead driver. That is PHG Slick SHVR2, of course, using the PSVR2 headset. So it would be absolutely interesting to see from his point of view how that looks, and how scary that is, especially when coming near the wall. But it looks like they're working in tow to try and stretch the lead of the drivers behind them. And this is how you do it, I think, Tetu.
Absolutely. To answer your question about that second group slowing themselves down, you are. I mean, the way oval racing works, especially at very fast speedways like this, is you are trying to build energy in your line of cars. You're trying to build momentum, and the way you do that is slipstream, bump draft, slipstream, bump draft. And if you work together, y'all go faster and faster. And that's how you catch up to the group ahead of you. If you're slowing down to drive side by side and try to overtake, then you are losing the energy in your lane, and that's not going to help them.
No. It's good to get confirmation from you, Toti, because that was my feeling there. But we've got a donation from HHP, $10 donation, in fact, saying, rooting for you, Parquet, you got this, your #1 fan. Well, great to hear that we've got fans of many drivers, including Parquet. It looks like we have got a Parquet fan club, because that's not the first time I've seen it, but thank you so much for that kind donation. We really appreciate it, and everyone donating today, absolute legends, and we can't thank you enough. So thank you very much. But look, it's very untidy between the three cars. There was a tiny bit of contact between Parquet and Old Man Pip, but they really need to work in tandem to really try and catch up with the other drivers and look at the bigger prize, which would be the top three. But as they're going side by side, as Toti mentioned, they're just slowing each other down and really helping the drivers behind to start catching up. So I don't know if they're listening. Maybe they need to listen. just trying to help them out, you know.
Yeah, these front rights are looking really bad on the medium car runners. I just scrolled through the field, and everybody on the medium, oh man, I imagine we're going to see a flurry of pit stops in the next few laps.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah, I was going to say, in my testing, I managed to get 20 laps on the medium tyres, but I didn't actually run downforce settings. So it's interesting to see whether or not some drivers are tinkering with their downforce and who is running the default settings. But judging by Polite Pango's tyres, looks like maybe he's running the default settings, as we still got Spawn and Old Man Pip side by side, but we have got Parquet and Horner Plenty just behind Parquet, who should be pushing on Old Man Pip into P4. It looks like Spawn is going to try and tuck him behind, although at the with the
tucking behind him. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Pit stops.
Pit stops to second and a third position, and with Parquet as well, actually coming in, all on the medium tyres. So looks like they're going to have enough fuel to last them through the rest of the race, and I suspect they'll go back on the medium tyres. So it does mean that PSG Arrow is the new leader of the race. He is also on the medium tyres, and the front right tyre looking worse for wear. I do wonder how much time he is losing at this phase. I would imagine he will dive into the pits after this lap. Old Man Pip actually just 1.2 seconds behind now in a second position, with very similar tyre wear, has to be said, with Spawn just behind him, and actually deciding to go one further then on them medium tyres. So that's very interesting. Spawn doing exactly the same on their medium tyres. As he hits the wall, he spins out and getting a 1.5 second penalty to boot, just to add insult to injury. But let's have a look on the replay here. But as we go into turn number 1, it looks like with that really bad tyre wear, he just understeers into the wall.
Oh, into the marble too, yeah.
Yeah, do you know what though? Fortunately, although he did pick up damage there, fortunately was able to kind of recorrect himself and point the car in a straight direction, because that could have been a lot worse, T-Case.
Indeed, because you get a 1.5 second every time you hit the wall. So, I mean, that could have been a 3-5 second penalty very, very easily. And I'm surprised he didn't dive into the pits there with his tire wear and damage as it was. But I guess he's going to do another lap and serve the penalty and then go in and get some fresh rubber and get that damage fixed. I also
do we
see
know
that,
how Horn of Plenty got a penalty?
I was just gonna mention that I didn't see what happened, but he got that penalty and he got damage. So he too is one of the drivers that is going to need to pit soon. And as we're saying that, he is going into the pits right now. So he'll put on another set of mediums, I would imagine, and get that damage repaired.
Something interesting, MD Hop jumped in on the hards just before the big incident there with Spawn. And I'm confused about stopping with the hards right now. And why would I don't remember him having damage on this car. So that's something to watch out for. Whatever MD Hop's strategy is, how that works out for him.
But it looks like Lead Pencil's making the no stopper work for sure. He's up into P2 on those racing hards, and while that front right doesn't look great, I think he can make it to the end on that.
Agreed.
Yeah, well, this is the interesting thing, isn't it? So obviously with the tyre physics, normally the lap times start falling off once the tyre deg gets past the halfway mark. But around a circuit like this, you can probably afford to run them into the ground. But it just really depends on how much time they're losing per lap. But around a short circuit like Blue Moon Speedway, it's not going to be too significant, I don't think. It's just really important just to keep it away from the wall. So yeah, certainly Lead Pencil leading the charge at the minute then. 1.7 seconds is the lead over Bandit, who currently holds P2. But if we look on Bandit, oh God, look at Bandit's tyres though. Not quite as good, and perhaps Bandit may be using the default downforce settings, because as I mentioned, I was getting roughly 30 laps maximum on them hard tires, but on the default configuration. So it looks like Bandit perhaps using the default setup, and we'll need to make a stop in the next few laps, I think. Tattoo.
Yeah, I think he's going to have to do something. His hards don't look that great, and I don't know what the fuel situation is for him. I'm sorry, I kind of missed that piece there, but if he can make it work, sure, but I don't see that he's got a slip or anything. I think he might be in trouble if he doesn't pit.
I noticed in some of my research, I do know Lead messed with his downforce settings. So I didn't see what he did. I do know that he did do something with them. So that would make sense why, if Bandit is using the default settings and Lead is not, why Lead has so much tire left compared to Bandit.
For sure, I can see if you give it a little more front downforce to keep those fronts from scrubbing in the corners, you can save them a bit. You know, rear downforce, it won't matter too much around here, honestly. Gotta give it a little bit just to make the car feel stable, but if you can keep those front tires on and sticking to the pavement, you can save them a bit.
Yeah, and this is where this becomes an important situation then for PHG Slick and Polite's Pango for P3 and P4, because if they can work as a team now, being 6.7 seconds behind the leader, and with him not having any tow to help him out here, that gap can come dwindling down in the last 11 laps of this race. But if they start fighting, then this is going to work in Lead Pencil's favour. So yeah, hopefully, well, I say hopefully, because this is going to make things a lot more exciting if we end up having a four-way battle for the race lead. But sounds like Parquet has listened to our thoughts and is starting to work with Old Man Pip then as he pushes him along the straight. They are currently 8 seconds away from the race leader. In fact, it's 7.7 seconds now. In fact, has Lead Pencil made a mistake because he's moved down to P2?
Yeah, it's something interesting happening here, Flood. Shadow Chef is trying to unlap himself. We see here in the replay, he's in P13 trying to get back by, and he just uses the Bandit just uses that slipstream and the little side draft to squeeze on past Lead Pencil there. So Lead Pencil falls back into P2, but they still got Shadow Chef, and look at how he's now trying to duck in to Shadow Chef's slipstream a little bit and do that. But Shadow Chef isn't, I mean, he's getting out of the way like he's supposed to do. He's getting shown the blue flag, but he's not lifting or letting them by. He's still there. He's within his right to be there, and definitely making things a little bit difficult for Bandit, but he does not get in their way. And he is, like we saw last night with Shaggy Doo using a back marker to get a little slip, is now helping pull Bandit right along.
Yeah, and there's something I never considered actually is, yeah, of course you do have the blue flag traffic, but you know, they're within their rights to stay on their line, and you know, they can unlap themselves as long as it doesn't interfere too much with the drivers that are actually lapping them. But yeah, certainly that can play a story in the race as well. And yeah, that is why we had the changing of the race lead. But you can see now how tight it is, because Police Pango is now 2.9 seconds adrift of Bandit, who currently has the race lead, and looks like he's working very, very well with PHG Slick, although they just went side by side. Did he tuck back into that slipstream? I do wonder. But yeah, Lead Pencil will be aware that they're starting to close in on him, which is roughly about 2 seconds, and normally within the sort of second range is the slipstream range. So I think he'll know that he'll have to work with Bandit as much as possible, but it's going to be very interesting on them tyres though. We're on lap number 30, well, about to start lap number 32 of 39. You can see them racing hard and not looking great on Lead Pencil, and I'm pretty sure Bandit's tyres were even worse as well. So and it's looking like they're both going for that no stop strategy. So
I think Lead's fine. I think Lead's fine. Bandit may have to jump in and just take what he can get if he can't get it to turn. So Lead just has to be patient. Right now they're side by side. I don't know if he's making a pass. Looks like he is. Maybe Bandit is starting to lose some performance in the corners there. But I think Lead is okay. Slick and Polias Pango, though, they're doing a really good job of working with each other, and they both have fresh mediums on, so that they're coming. Oh, they're here.
They are. Yeah.
Bandit is a sitting duck. He is a sitting duck right now.
Absolutely. He can't do anything.
Indeed. Lunges up the inside.
What a lunge.
But Slick had the outside line and the overspeed, so retains that second position. But now he is firmly in Lead Pencil's slipstream on them softer of the compounds as well. So he's going to have more speed going into the turns with Lead Pencil trying to look after them hard tyres. It's looking like Slick is going to get the overspeed as we go into the final corner of lap number 33. He's going to perform the old switcheroo as well, and they're going to be side by side down the straight, but it looks like Slick is going to take the race lead with Polias Pango pushing him into second position as well. So we've got 5 laps to go in this Division B race, and it's looking certain that it's between Slick and Polias Pango to fight it out for the race victory. We'll see if the other drivers behind can follow suit as well in Old Man Pip and Parquet, but I think they're about 3 seconds behind at this stage of the race. Lead Pencil, of course, has got that slipstream though, but on them dying hard tyres, and I'm pretty sure that Slick and Polias Pango are going to be working in tandem to try and pull away from Lead Pencil. But this is definitely squeaky bum time of the race. And what are your thoughts now, TKs?
Oh, man. I love it. I love it. I love when you got two completely different strategies. The whole race, it's all kind of who knows what's going to happen, and then it comes together here at the end. And this is fantastic. I cannot wait to see it. It looks like Slick and Pelias, it's going to be a battle between the two of them. Hopefully we get a drag race across the line. And if Led can stay in the tow and manage that front right, I think he can hold on to P3. I think he can. But I think his hopes for victory are gone unless something happens between these two.
Strategy was still right. I don't think winning was ever his strat, but he started in 8th place or something like that. He's now looking at potentially a podium. He's not necessarily safe for it, but he's looking at it. He did a good job when he got past. He got right up on Slick, trying to put that side draft on him, put some air over his wing. He slowed him down enough to keep the draft. I think he's out of it now. But if these two mess each other up, he's still in contention for the win. He's not far back.
Yeah, and we've also got lap traffic just in front as well. So again, this could come into play, and this could definitely shake things up in the final 3 laps of this race. And but yeah, nothing to separate the top 2 drivers at the moment. For those that are wondering, we've got the picture in, picture out display on the right hand side, just so you can see what's happening behind. But it is looking like a 2-horse race for the race victory there, and it's just going to be interesting now when Pango decides to make the move on Slick, because he will be in the prime position. You actually wouldn't want to be in the race lead, because you've got that extra speed. Pango looks like he's going to make the move. I feel like he's going a little bit too early though, Tati, because
I think so. Too soon, Junior.
Yeah, Junior, for sure, because I think I would have waited until probably the last lap here. So it does put Slick in a better position, but Pango is going to defend for his life as we look on board with a replay then of who, sorry?
Oh, it's Old Man Pip on Lead Pencil. He was closing him down real fast, closing him down, and then unfortunately Led has just lost the grip, and he tacks the wall right there.
Oh no!
1.5 second penalty.
Yikes. I think Pelias should have waited till they ran into that lap traffic so he could really get a tow from whoever that is up front, because right now he is absolutely susceptible from a lunge back from Slick. I don't think he's quite close enough to that other car to have made that move.
Well, that driver, Tessie, is Shadow Shift, so I do wonder whether or not he's going to be compliant and move out of the way, or whether or not he will try to fight not to be lapped. We'll wait and see, but we're about to start the final lap of this Division B race at Blue Moon Speedway. Pelias Pango currently in the race lead as we go into turn number 1, and Slick goes deep into the first turn and almost hits the wall. He had to back out of it, and he's lost a sizable margin to Pango. It's about 0.8 of a second. He may have just... Yeah, I think it's just cost him that race, because I think he started to slip out of that slipstream. And with Pelias Pango getting that slipstream from a Shadow Chef, it looked like, Slick was trying everything possible to try and get in front of Pelias Pango, but Pelias Pango is going to come across the checkered line to grab the race win at Division B Blue Moon Speedway, with Slick coming second and Old Man Pip in third, with Parquet coming in fourth position. Lead Pencil then down into 6th position, because PSG Arrow goes in front at the line to grab 5th position, with Small grabbing P7. As we look on the replay now, look how tight this was. This was a photo finish between PSG and Lead Pencil.
He shut the door. He should have shut the door.
Look at Arrow's tire.
Yeah. Arrow's tires completely didn't stop him from grabbing that 5th position at the
Come on, Led. You got to slam that shut. That's turn 3 last lap, baby. You should have shut that door hard.
hard.
I've been at the wall. I've been at the wall.
Exactly. Yeah.
He had
Yeah.
damage and less fuel. I think he was having to fuel save a little bit as well. So he was on dead hards, Arrow on dead softs. Arrow had a little bit better fuel, and wow. Woo.
Wow, amazing. Woo, what a finish. What a finish. I still think Pelias Pango made his move too soon. He got lucky. Slick should have either made that move in the turn 1 there. I was wondering if he would, but he stayed outside. I was like, well, turn 2 is the last chance. Turn 3 won't be good enough. And then he put it in the wall in turn 2, or it almost put it in the wall.
Yes, indeed. What a finish indeed. Well, just to give you the provisional race results then, prior to any steward inquiries, I think there may be a couple, but we'll wait and find out in a couple of weeks' time. But it was BHR Pelias Pango with the race victory, the first winner in this season's NRL Season 5 for Division B. He finished 1.1 seconds ahead of PHG Slick SHVR2 to finish in second position ahead of Old Man Pip that grabs the last step on the podium in P3. Parquet finishes in fourth position just in front of PHG Arrow, who finished ahead of PHG Lead Pencil in that photo finish for P6 for Lead Pencil. Seventh goes to Spawn. Eighth goes to PHG Horn of Plenty. Ninth goes to RTS Bandit ahead of P. Rosal, who gets the fastest lap of the race with that 47.249. Nice. So a bonus point goes to him. 11th position is BHR Johnny Boy ahead of S7R Shadow Chef. In 13th position, we had MD Hop, and Santa Miguel finishes in 14th position. So, yeah, very, very interesting race indeed. We will interview the podium runners very, very shortly. But, yeah, what are your thoughts, Tati, on that race? That was absolutely ridiculous.
It was better than I could have hoped. You know, sometimes with these small lobbies in Gran Turismo, you kind of wonder if you're going to get that good oval racing action that you expect. And I think we got a good bit of it. Some really good slipstream battles and cooperation between the drivers. A lot of excitement. Two different strategies playing out. Gotta say, NRL racing is full of pros. Full of pros. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Yeah, TK, so I was going to say, could you have predicted a race like that?
No, absolutely not. I mean, I was looking at where I scrolled back and looked at where, you know, our top three started, and Pelias Pango was the only one that started in the top 5. Everybody else was further back. So, I mean, what a shakeup, showing that, you know, qualifying position isn't as important when you got bump drafting and teamwork and back markers. I mean, oh, that was awesome.
Yes, indeed. Very, very exciting race. Couldn't predict what was going to happen, and it all changed at the death of the race. So yeah, we get to interview the podium finishers then, and we are going to interview first our race winner then, BHR Pelias Pango. Congratulations on the race win, and how are you feeling after that?
Pretty good. Got kind of lucky, and shout out to Johnny for amazing teammate qualifying, and Blake and Arrow making that strategy work separate from that second pack that was forming and just make it like a 3 battle.
Yeah, I mean, it was a fantastic battle at the end, and I have to say, in commentary, we kind of felt that you made the move maybe a little bit too early, because of course slipstream is a big part of this race. But how glad was you to see Slick just behind you go deep into turn 1?
Honestly, I didn't really see it. I just kind of hold my line because he was running the top line, so I kind of went bottom, kind of hoping that he would try to go around the outside because you get that for momentum. And the laps before, I don't know if he got into the wall a slight little bit, And I was kind of afraid that if I keep him that bump draft for the initial, I was going to get front end damage and kind of kill our race. So I kind of just made that move and just hoped that we'd still kind of work together to the end.
Yeah, indeed. Well, I think definitely your eyes lighted up when that happened, and of course Shadow Chef as well, who was just in front of you. I think helped you out as well by providing a bit of a tow to secure that race victory. So congratulations to you, Pelias Pango. And TK, have you got any questions for our race winner?
Yeah, Pelias, great job, man. Great job. That was so exciting. Like when you were preparing for this race, did you think that it was one that you could win, or were you more just like, let's finish where we can finish?
My main focus was just trying to find someone that we can like kind of work with together, because you can get like kind of like what you mentioned earlier, you can get like the fastest qualifying lap, but if everyone's kind of battling it out, or you get left tongue to dry, then that kind of goes your race. So kind of just hoping that you get a good group of people. Which thanks again to Second Arrow for working with me and being able to pull it off.
Awesome. Well, great job, man.
And Tati, any questions at all?
No, just definitely congratulations, and your strategy definitely played out. You guys, the three of you running together, did a great job in the first half of the race, or at least the first stint, I guess. Just building and keeping energy in your lane with only 3 cars. There were bigger lines of cars behind you, but you guys literally managed to work flawlessly together, and it propelled you to the front. Good job.
Thank you. And thank you guys as well.
Yeah, thank you, Pelias Pango, and good luck for the rest of the season to you as well. Let's hope that we can get you in the interview room for more reactions. But congratulations.
Y'all have a good one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, that rounds up our interviews then for this Division B round 1. Yeah, absolutely fantastic race. A good way to start off today in the broadcast. Yeah, we are going to go for a quick break. So grab yourself a beverage. And when we come back, we'll run down the Division B standings as well as the next race, the first round of Division A. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back soon. Welcome back to the NRL. And the NRL is brought to you by Henke's Tavern and Little J CPA, our sponsors for Season 5. So, without further ado, let's run you through the standings for Saturday Division B after one round. T-Case, can you read out the standings, please?
Yes, sir. And we're going to see how these points are applied. So in P1, winning the race, Pelias Pango, he got 25 points, followed by Slick SHVR2 with 18 points. In P3, Old Man Pip with 15 points. Parquet in P4 with 12 points. Then we got Arrow P5 with 10 points. Lead Pencil with 8 points in P6. Spawn with 6 points in P7. PHG Horn of Plenty P8 with 4 points. Bandit and P9 with 2 points. And then our final points scorer is P Rozzle with 1 point in P10. And then the four-way tie with 0 points for P11. We have Johnny Boy, Shadow Chef, MD Hop, and Santa Miguel.
Awesome stuff, T-Case. Okay, so that's how things are shaped up in Division B so far. But now it's time to look at what's coming up for our second race of today, the first round of the Saturday Division A. So we are staying in America for this Saturday Division A round 1, but this time we are on the west coast of the US for the visit of Grand Valley Highway, but in its reverse configuration. Track length is 3.17 miles with 18 turns in an anti-clockwise direction for this 17-lap race with a false start check grid start ahead of a 10-minute qualifying session. They'll be using the McLaren 650S GT3 Group 3 car. This car produces 542 brake horsepower at 7,500 RPM in this 3.8 litre turbocharged Group 3 machinery. It's mid-engined with power to its rear wheels and weighs in at just 1,240 kilos. BOP is enabled with just the brake balance to be tweaked. Mechanical damage is set to heavy. All racing tyre compounds are available with a tyre wear rate at ×2 and a fuel consumption rate at ×3, with all types of strategies on play here. Drivers will need to adapt, especially with the new BOP update, changing everything they had learned before and keeping it between the white lines as track limits are tight at this location. As we are in the group stage of this, of course, it opens up the points allocation with 25 points going to the race winner, 18 for second, 15 for third, and in sequential order down to 10th with 1 point. Fastest lap gives an additional bonus point to this said driver. Top 14 across both Friday and Saturday combined on points at the end of round 3 will secure their passage to the finals on Saturday, April the 26th. Sorry about that, guys. So the driver lineup for Saturday Division A is as follows. We have Almost Podium, Bandit, Cyrus Nicky, Digital Relay, Filmora, GI Boku, Louise, MMR Moose 21, PHG Caper, PHG Lyric, PHG Salamander, PHG Sheldologist, S7R Nuke, and finally WID. Please make sure you go and check out their streaming profiles applicable to them, whether it's Twitch or YouTube, as I'm sure they'll be streaming from their point of view. Making sure you keep a tab open for us in the NRL so you don't miss a thing.
And we are having a slight lobby issue here, so gonna get that restarted. Uh, so that it's only for me. I'm having a lobby issue. I'm restarting my PlayStation right meow.
Technical issues for TK. So as we allow him to sort that one out, Tessie, what are your thoughts on this race combo for Division A?
I think it can be fun. I'll be honest. I still don't know Grand Valley. I know one configuration because of 1 hour of practice, but it's really a fun track. I don't know how well it races in its current iteration in GT7 for sure. It's a fun track to drive. It does feel like driving on California Highway 1 in a lot of ways, where it's just nice and carvy. But I remember it from earlier GT games. It was one of my favorite tracks. It was such good racing because you had a lot of places where you could pass. And I do wonder if it retains that energy. I can't wait to watch this race.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly a circuit that is quite tricky and quite a bit different to its normal counterpart, the normal way round. But certainly it does provide some great racing, and I did a little bit of testing myself prior to now. So it did take me quite a few laps to get used to it, but it's a very, very fun circuit. And definitely can't wait for this one. There will be all types of strategies on play, as all racing compounds can be used for this one. So definitely looking forward to seeing how this one's going to be played out. But as I mentioned in the explanation of this race, is the BOP changes, of course, came in on Thursday. And all that practice they put in is thrown away, basically, I think, TK's.
Yeah, I talked to several drivers who it's specifically affecting Logitech wheel users. And I was told, they lost up to half a second on their qualifying times just based on the lack of force feedback that they were getting. So that's definitely a factor. As we saw in the last race, that update lightened the cars. It only was for Group 3, so it lightened the cars and made them less powerful. So fuel is a lot less of an issue, and now it all comes down to tire wear.
Yes, indeed. And we will go through all the strategies that could be on play for today. But they're in that McLaren, and I have been told that pretty much every car in the Group 3 category now is a lot slower. They've had reduced BHP to the cars, but some of the cars lighter though. And I did also notice as well in terms of braking, the brakes don't lock up as much as they used to, actually. So a little bit easier to drive now, and a little bit more forgiving, I think. But even so, around a tricky circuit like this with lots of undulations and uphill sections, it's of course you're taking the corners in the opposite direction and the opposite way, because what would have been a downhill corner for the normal layout will be an uphill section for the reverse layout. So definitely brings different dynamics to the races, that's for sure, Tessie.
Sure. I mean, you'll understeer through both of them. Most of my experience in this Grand Valley layout is understeer, but it does introduce a different element. I think in this configuration, is it more downhill or more uphill? I can't remember. Like as far as the curvier parts, like sector 2 and 3 there.
It's uphill.
It's more uphill.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
So that can be pretty fun. I mean, uphill corners have their own sort of understeer, but it helps with braking. It really probably feels pretty good through there. Quite frankly, the McLaren has always felt good to drive, even if it wasn't good in the BOP. It's a fun car.
Yeah, and I found it doing this layout. This is one of my favorite tracks in the regular direction, and I could not pick out a good accelerator marker out of most of these corners. I would end up thinking the turn was over, because in the other direction the turn would be over, but in this direction it just kept going a little bit longer. And like you were saying with the I understeered into every wall. It was so frustrating to get a lap done without ending up pushing it too hard and going into the wall. Especially turn 1 here in the tunnel is very, very tricky. You can take it flat out, but you have to get your line just right. Otherwise, you're hitting the wall right at the end of the tunnel. And the way the lighting is, as you come out of the tunnel, you can't see the track. You can't see where that white line is. And I found myself, I got it flat out. And then I come out of the tunnel and I'm on the dirt. And I'm just like, oh my goodness. So I know most of these drivers put in a ton of practice. Yes, the update affected that, but it didn't affect the lines. It didn't affect the track layout. So if they can make those adjustments, I think they're going to be okay.
Exactly what you mean coming out of that tunnel there. I have some real sadistic friends who love this layout and love running us in street cars of varying power and capacity, but always on comfort hards. And coming out of that tunnel, rough. That kind of chicane-ish turn 4 or 5, the worst.
Yeah, and the other thing you got to consider as well is obviously the tire degradation as well. So no lap is the same, of course, and even if you're on the soft tires, you might be brave enough to go flat out through the exit of that tunnel, but as the tire deg comes into play, then you do have to change your driving lines, or even the throttle going into that turn as well. You do have to come off the gas slightly, otherwise you will run wide, you will pick up dirt on them tires, and it does affect the tire grip going into the next corner, especially going into the chicane that we've just gone through now. So the qualifying is underway now, and the drivers are on their outlaps. We're on board with PhD Salamander, and I have to say I was watching his practice prior to the update, so things are definitely going to change now, but he was looking very, very pacey. I have to say I was very, very impressed with Sal, and I'm expecting big things from him today. Not to put too much pressure on him, because we've got an extremely talented field in front of us, and one of the drivers that really impressed me again was Cyrus Nicky. Not for the first time, of course. Cyrus Nicky last season in Division B, of course, had them fantastic races with Parquet, particularly the go-kart race. I remember so fondly. But Cyrus Nicky looks like he's taken his A game to a whole nother level now, because now he looks like a real Division A driver, looking very, very competitive, and he was looking extremely confident in practice. But we've got Moose as well in here, of course, who is my fellow friend and someone I've known for quite a long time. I'm not 100% sure if he is using controller or he has actually purchased this wheel. He goes a bit wide into the entry, or the lead up, should I say, into the chicane. That would have cost him a fair chunk of time, and I think he took out a few of the braking boards as well. But yeah, I'm not 100% sure if he's on a wheel or controller at the moment, because I know he's in the market for a new wheel.
According to chat, still on controller.
Yes, I chatted with Moose a little bit before this race just to get an idea of his strategy, and also with Cyrus. Cyrus was one of the ones on the Logitech that was having issues because of the update. And then talking with Moose, I asked him if because he's supposed to be getting Fanatec gear, so I was asking how he was feeling with that, and he confirmed that he is still on controller. So he's doing his best on controller, or as he likes to call, the Wi-Fi wheel.
Yeah, I've actually seen a clip of him waving his McLaren wheel around, so yeah, good impression there, Moose. Well done, mate.
Motion controls? Wi-Fi wheel?
Well, no, he's pretending. He's pretending. I'm pretty sure it doesn't work as a Wii controller or something. But
the Wii showing your age, Claude. Showing your age.
Controls is a thing. It is a thing in this game. I just I know very few drivers who use it.
Yeah. I know maybe one other driver who did actually feature in the NRL, actually. Sophia, as Moose comes across the line with a 1 minute 48.8. That is followed by Famora with a 49.3. But Wid comes across the line with the first driver to hit the 1 minute 47s with a 1 minute 47.902, 9.5 tenths quicker than his nearest rival Moose. Of course, reigning champion going into NRL season 5, and he's certainly the man to catch, TKs.
He really is. And just, I mean, in all the practice I was watching, it seemed like low 148s was like what people were getting. They were getting in those low 148s. And then Wid comes in and on his first banker does a 47.9. It's just unbelievable. This guy is so talented at this game. I know I've seen Cyrus Nicky get into those low 148s, but I'm curious how many of these other drivers, if Moose and Cyrus, and we know PHG Lyric is quick as well, if they can challenge Wid for that top spot, it might end up coming down to strategy for if anybody wants to take that top spot away. But Wid just went purple again, so clearly he's going to get much faster. And on this track, it's going to be interesting because there is that the start-finish straight is very, very long. So you're going to get a tow. Like, Wid is definitely going to get a tow from Cyrus Nicky here. However, you don't want to be too close going through the tunnel if you're still trying to do a flying lap, because the lack of downforce, like we were saying, is going to just cause you to understeer into the tunnel wall. So, you know, Wid's going to get this really good lap here, and the line is so much further down than I thought it was going to be, 147.6, but I think he's so close that this next lap will not be a flyer for him.
He pulled out of the toe, I think, to avoid exactly what you were talking about in the tunnel there. And it's funny, it's like, I don't need it. I'm just going to put it out there. We all know who I'm rooting for. This guy right here, S7R Nuke, and of course with my S7R teammates. So let's just get that out of the way. But to see him go purple again without really using that toe made me feel good.
Yeah, no, definitely. Well, what can I say? There's a lot of competitive drivers in this grid. Of course, we all already know about Wid. Cyrus Nicky, of course, showing how much he's improved with second position at the moment. Moose has always been in contention, and I know that he's biting at his lip really to really try and catch Wid, but Wid is just he's just on a completely different level, unfortunately, for these Division A drivers, and they'll be hoping they can pull it out of the bag in terms of performance, but also you know, we don't wish for anyone to make any mistakes, but they'll probably be hoping that Wid either cuts the track a few times, because the track limit is pretty tight around here, I have to say. So they'll be hoping that Wid makes some mistakes to give him half a chance to try and catch him. But yeah, there is, of course, 13 drivers on the grid at the moment. We are on board with PHG Lyric, who currently holds 8th position, as we see Wid and Cyrus Nicky come into the pits. We've got 2.5 minutes left of this qualifying session, but Lyric, we're expecting big things from him as well, because he qualified second for the overall pre-qualifying to get into the group stages. He is using a Fanatec DD Pro, and he's representing, of course, the Papa's House of Game team. So he is currently on his outlap at the moment on them fresh, soft tyres. So he should be able to get about 2 flying laps here. So as TK's alluded to, completely flat. It's going to be a wide. Oh my god, but he nearly.
TK's favorite spot.
Oh no, track limits.
Yes, yes.
But when you can't see the track, you know.
Well, yeah.
Some sunglasses or something.
So yeah, unfortunately, he grabs a half-second penalty, so he'll have one more flying lap to hope he can propel himself up the grid. But we go on board with Lewis then, Lewis, who is in 11th position. He's on the medium tyres though. Why is he on the medium tyres? Has he not noticed?
Did he not buy the softs? Maybe he's out of credit. Somebody send Luis some credit so he can get some racing soft tires.
There were two people in the grid that looked to be on medium, so we might want to do a sweep. This Luis was one. Yeah, I thought they would change before we started, but talk about just trying to do your best.
Yeah, I mean that is what you call being tight, you know, not spending out to get them soft tires. I mean, honestly.
Last weekend I did a race with I'll just say another league, and all tires were in contention, but the strategy was hard, medium, soft, and I realized I didn't have the mediums. It was too late, so. You never want to get caught out like this, and you know it's a qualifying and then race format. So once quali starts, you can't leave and come back in and get those tires.
Yep, I've done the same thing with a wet race and realized I didn't have inters or wets.
Well done.
Just to update you, Moose has just moved up into second position. Then I think he had a 1 minute 48.2, I believe. I didn't quite see the time come in, but he's got possibly what he might have just about started on his last flying lap, so he will have one more chance to
podium.
Better it.
Almost podium being in fourth is the best part of the evening.
Almost podium, right? Okay, we got that.
Moose is 7/10 off of Wid right now. And Wid is going purple, and we got Moose trying his hardest. Oh my goodness, this is a tough one. Props to all these drivers for improving their times, getting better, and taking a very challenging course that isn't used often, and getting the most out of it.
Wow, yeah, well done.
Yeah. Well, Almost Podium did actually improve his time by 1/10 of a second, but remains almost on podium in P4 with Moose now coming around the final turn of this lap. I didn't see the splits before, so I don't know if he's up on his time or not as he goes a little bit sideways out of the last turn. Has that cost him or not? We'll have to wait and see as he comes flying down the back straight to come across the checkered line and lose a 10th, so remains in second position. Meanwhile, Wid has already secured that pole position then with that 1 minute 47.6. Cyrus and Nikki will grab third position then. And Salamander went a little bit quicker, but only managed to get a 1 minute 49.4. We'll have a look at the classified qualifying results then for Division A. So Wid will start on the front row in pole position with a 1 minute 47.671. 7.5 tenths quicker than his nearest rival, Moose 21, who will start alongside him on row 1 with a 1 minute 48.418. There is just 200th of a second separating Moose to Cyrus and Nikki in third position, starting on row 2, with Almost Podium starting alongside him in fourth position, just 0.008 of a second separating the two drivers. Then on row 3, we're going to have S7R Nuke in fifth position, with Fermora next to him in sixth position. Then on the fourth row, we've got PHG Lyric starting from seventh position. Next to him will be Sheldologist starting from P8. On the fifth row, we've got PHG Salamander starting from ninth position, with Digital Relay starting alongside him in 10th position. On the 6th row, we've got PHG Caper starting in 11th position, with Bandit 1 starting alongside him in 12th. And then our medium runner in Lewis starting on the back row in 13th.
My goodness.
Yes. So a very, very interesting qualifying session there. But, of course, strategies will be on play here. And it's going to be very interesting to see what the drivers do decide on. We do predict whether it will be a no-stopper on the mediums or maybe a one-stopper on the softs. We'll have to wait and see. But your final thoughts, though, TKs?
Yeah, I know some drivers are going to try to make that no-stopper work. They're going to have to fuel save. But they could make it work. But P2, P3, and P4 all with a 148.4, and their cars almost look identical. Like what kind of communication did they have before this to get perfectly matching times and perfectly matching cars? I love it. I love it. I can't wait to see how this plays out. Penalties, heavy damage, that's all going to be a big factor.
Yes, indeed. And Tati, any quick predictions from you?
I think the one stop is going to be the way to go. Tire wear is too high to go mediums all the way. So whether you do medium, or soft, you're going to have to stop if you don't want to be too slow on the track.
Yeah, definitely interesting. I mean, I did test on the mediums and did a no stop, but yeah, it remains to be seen whether or not they'll be losing too much pace to the soft runners. So I guess we're going to wait and see what happens in this 17-lap race here at the Grand Valley Highway reverse configuration then for the opening round of NRL Division A. Lights are out and away we go. And it looks like Wid has got a very good start ahead of Moose, who sweeps in front of Cyrus Nicky in 3rd position. And it's going to be Wid that's going to lead us through the tunnel at turn number 1, with Moose just in front of Nicky to hold him off in 3rd position. And I can't see any movements and shakers up and down the grid at the moment. So it looks like a line astern for all the drivers as we go through the chicane into the 2nd tunnel then. In this long left-hand bend for the bridge. And it looks like Wid has already developed a little bit of a gap to Moose in 2nd, Cyrus Nicky in 3rd, almost Podium in 4th, just in front of Felmora and PHG Lyric, but running on board with almost Podium then as we go into this medium speed right-hander through the arches and into the next right-hander. Very tight right-hander, which if you keep it to the right sets you up for the left-hander that precedes it. And through this technical section, and now as I said, it's a line astern for all the drivers, but interestingly though, looking at the tyres, almost Podium on the soft tyres, as it looks like Cyrus Nicky went side by side with almost was it? No, sorry, it was Moose. Was it?
Moose.
Oh, it was Moose, sorry. My apologies there. They went side by side, but Moose able to hold off Cyrus and Nicky for the time being. But Nicky, with just a car length away behind, may look to... Oh, I thought he might have looked to dive down the inside, but he's certainly going to have the slipstream as we come across the start-finish line to finish lap 1 of 17. Moose, I think he's going to have to go a little bit defensive here unless Cyrus Nicky is doing a tiny bit of fuel saving to stay just behind Moose, but Moose should be able to go into the corner in front of Cyrus Nicky to hold on to his 2nd position, TKs.
Indeed. And to note, Wid and Moose on the medium, so on the slower tires compared to Cyrus. That's so frustrating, especially when you know you have the quicker car, but there's nothing he could have done going into the tunnel there.
Oh.
He had to lift. as we see Filmora.
Yeah, just going in front of almost Podium, who did pick up a half-second penalty for cutting track limits. We've got PSG, Lyric getting a bit of a almost Podium and Filmora sandwich there. That wasn't easy to say, I have to say. But almost Podium will hold on to 5th position for the time being, although he will need to serve that penalty shortly. So Lyric may look to move up a position once that penalty is served. But we've got Sheldologist in 8th position at the moment, also with a half-second penalty. Just behind S7R Nuke then holds 7th position. Louise, though, he's moved up 4 positions to move up into 9th. Although he's gone a bit deep and nearly lost control of the car. In the background, there's Digital Relay and Bandit managed to get in front of him to move up into P9 and 10. Sal is in P11, got in front of Louise as well, with PSG Caper looking to sweep around the outside of Louise and maybe slip up the inside for the final turn as well. And I think he's just made that stick as well. So Louise has lost 4 positions in about 3 corners there. So what was looking very, very good for him as is back to square one again. So Louise with it all to do, but Caper just looking aboard with him at the moment in 12th position. He's on the racing medium tyres, so on a slightly different strategy to quite a lot of the drivers around him. But yeah, it's a big collision with the wall, and that was who was that? That was Salamander. Can we get a replay on that, because we just saw the final embers of that that move there. So we're on board with Salamander as we go through the tunnel then, and it looks like okay, well, he negotiated the tunnel well, but got on the dirty stuff on the outside in the lead up to the chicane, and that spun him round and back down into 13th position, Tati.
Oh my gosh, crazy. I was just thinking right before he crashed, I was like, this is the best, worst kind of track. It is fast and it is technical. And so any mistake you make, we saw Luis lose 4 positions there because every corner sets up for the next corner. It's awful. So if you get messed up in one, you're messed up for the next 3, quite frankly, especially when there are other cars around you. And then what we just saw happen to Sal there, he's going really, really fast, just barely tags the wall, and it absolutely sends him. This is, it's California Nürburgring. It's just fast and technical, and you cannot mess up. You can't.
You really can't. There's either dirt or there's a wall. Yep. Or there's both.
Or, like I said, it just sets you up all wrong for the next corner, even if it's not catastrophic.
We've got side-by-side action. We've got side-by-side action between Moose and Cyrus Nicky. Looks like Nicky's got the inside line over Moose, though. As we go into the tunnel for the left-hander, it looks like Nicky will sweep in front of Moose to move up into 2nd position. Moose just behind in 3rd, with Filmora in a bit of a battle for P4, with Lyric up his bumper there, it looked like, in the background. But Cyrus Nicky up into P2, Moose into P3, and sounded like a bit of tyre squealing in the background as well, as Lyric moves up into 4th position.
Nice moves.
And that's great for Cyrus being on the softs. He needed to clear Moose. He had, oh my goodness.
It's coming together. There's a coming together with Lyric and Filmora. It looked like was trying to get the angle there as we looked on board with Filmora, but looks like slight incident between the 2 drivers, and Lyric up into P4, almost Podium down into P5.
Yeah, that is tough. Man, you hate to see that type of stuff happen, but good on Cyrus for getting past Moose. Now he has the daunting task of trying to hunt down Wid before his soft tires wear out.
Yeah, he had to make that move. It's good that he got it done fairly early. We're still on lap 4, so now he is free to chase Wid, but if he catches him, he's still got to pit. Wid might still have to pit too. I don't know if the no stop makes sense unless you are an alien like Wid, but
I can report to you that on the racing soft tires, you will definitely need to make one stop. Because I think you'll be losing too much time on worn soft tires. So It looks like weird. Has he made a mistake?
Yeah.
Oh, is he fuel saving? Okay, it looks like he's fuel saving then, because the gap had reduced quite considerably between Wid and Cyrus Nicky to about a second, so yeah, there is a little bit of fuel saving required in this race. Not much, only a tiny bit. I felt that if you sort of change the gear just before it starts revving out completely, that was enough to get you through the whole of the race. But in my testing though, I was pitting on lap 9 for fresh softs, or you could do 8 laps and then 9 laps on a lighter tank maybe. But yeah, certainly that is the ploy, I think, for the soft runners. The medium runners, I do believe you can do it on a no stopper and just save a little bit of fuel, but we'll see.
Yeah, I talked to several of the drivers for this race, and when I asked them about their strategy, they said two strategies: soft, or fuel save 1 to 2 laps on the mediums. And oh my goodness, that was so close. And to make the mediums work, the tires will last, but you need to save at least 2 laps of fuel throughout the race to make it work. And so a lot of them said their strategy was going to determine on what happens in qualifying. And so we see that as Wid is on the mediums and Cyrus is closing it in. Take it away, Claude.
Yeah, I was just about to say I made the mistake and thought Wid was on the softs, but he's on the medium tyres, so he's going to go for the no stop, and that would make sense why Cyrus Nicky is starting to close in on Wid then, because he is on the soft tyres. As we see Phil Mora go into the pits already on the end of lap 6 then, to change off with them soft tyres. But Cyrus Nicky has closed that gap to within my god, nearly into the back of Wid actually, but 3.5 tenths is the gap officially between the two drivers. But Cyrus Nicky at this phase of the race should be quicker than Wid on the softer of the compounds, but certainly Wid, it does seem like he is saving a little bit of fuel and trying to be as smooth as possible to make sure that them medium tyres do last the duration of the race, and he's doing a very fine job at that, Tattoo.
Yeah, absolutely. I call that, I don't think the no stop works, but again, when you are an alien like Wid, the strategy that you want, strategy works for you when you are Wid. So he might be able to do it. He is clearly saving. He's very smooth on the throttle and the brakes, probably doing a bit of lift and coast as we saw. So Cyrus, it's up to Cyrus to catch him and run away before those softs burn up, to see if maybe after his stop he can catch back up and pass Wid on those worn mediums. But he's got to get past them right now.
Yeah, he does, and it looks like he is really closing the gap through the corners, but Wid making his car as large as possible, really, not making it easy for Nicky. It is up to Nicky to pass him safely, but just a big board on the outside of the circuit there. Got a little bit fortunate. Luckily, they just made the plastic, so
it's reverse. We don't need that brake marker.
No, that's true. Cyrus Nicky doing his duty of cleaning up the circuit there, but he has lost a chunk of time to Wid, though. He's down to about 8 tenths of a second, although that will come dwindling down through the braking zone because of the superior I can't even speak now, superior grip on the soft tyres there, it looks like PhD Lyric having a fine race right now, up into P3 now, and has reduced that gap to just over 2 seconds to Cyrus Nicky, so he could come into the fight as well, but he is using the Racing Soft strategy as well. So I'm not 100% sure what the pit lane loss is. I believe if they don't put in the fuel, they'll probably lose roughly maybe 20 seconds, 25 seconds. Someone may need to confirm that for me, but
I asked a couple of the drivers, and they were thinking about 22, 23 seconds.
Right. Okay. So it means that on the soft tyres, they need to be at least, more than a second a lap quicker than the medium runners. Yeah, it looks like only, actually, Digital Relay's on the medium tyres, actually. So he is doing a good job at the moment in 8th position, just firmly behind S7R Nuke in 7th position. But yeah, they'll need to make up at least a second and a half a lap, really, to make the jump on the soft runners. But looking at the lap delta from Digital Relay, he is currently consistently in the early 1 minute 51s. It looks like the soft runners are roughly 148s to 149s, which would suggest that Digital Relay probably will need to step up the pace if he is going to leapfrog quite a number of the drivers. But it is important to be smooth and not make mistakes, as we've witnessed with Sal and a couple of the other drivers as well. So keeping it clean, consistent, and away from the walls is the ploy, and we'll see how the race comes back to the medium of runners. But it does look like Digital Relay is starting to apply that pressure to S7R Nuke in 7th position then. So maybe looking to size up an opportunity on him as the soft tyres start to die in this first stint for the soft runners, TKs.
Indeed, yeah. It's coming close to that pit window. It's coming close to that pit window. And this is what I love. Where do you get to see? Is it the undercut or the overcut? If you're not familiar, the undercut is when you pit one lap earlier than your competitor, and then you get a quick lap on fresh rubber while they're struggling on dead rubber. The overcut is when the worn tires really don't slow you down all that much. So even though your competitor pits before you, you're able to still put in a quick lap while they try to warm up their tires. So I'm anxious to see on this track what's better, the undercut or the overcut.
Yeah, all will be revealed in the next couple of laps. And it looks like Louise is starting to claw his way back up the grid. I think he's on the mediums, isn't he? Yes, he is. So we see Bandit peel into the pits from 10th position to change off of them softs, and predicted to be another set of softs for him. Cyrus Nicky, meanwhile, is within 0.4 of a second as he goes purple through sector 1. I thought, though, and maybe more importantly, was hoping that he was in front of Wid, but Wid is a hard man to catch, that is for sure. Sorry, TKs?
Oh no, that was Tati right there.
Oh, Tati, sorry.
Yes, actually, I wasn't trying to interject, but yeah, I do want to point out, I think Bandit also had damage to fix on his pit, so it's going to be longer than just tires and potentially fuel. But yeah, Wid doing what he needed to do right here. I said earlier that Cyrus Nicky really needed to get past Wid and run away as fast as he could before those tires wear out. Wid has made it impossible for him to do that. By slowing Nicky down, he basically takes away the advantage of the softs, because now Nicky's been going at medium pace this whole stint and still has to pit while Wid doesn't. Job not done for Nicky, job done for Wid.
Yeah, that's all about controlling the race. That's one of the beauties of when it's a strategy race and a difficult track to overtake. If you can be in the lead and dictate the race, as Cyrus goes in the pits, Lyric's gonna follow. So there we go. They're going in the pits. Wid's gonna continue on, and I just don't see how Moose catches up to him.
Yeah, I don't see Moose catching up with a 7-second deficit, but it is hard to be consistent. It's very easy to make mistakes, so who knows what happens. But we've got 4 drivers into the pits now using them soft tyres, so they're going to sink down as the medium runners propel themselves up the grid with S7R Nuke, with to Tati's delight, they're moving up into P3.
Came out ahead of Moose, came out ahead of a couple soft tires, so if he can hold them up and get them to burn up just like teammate Wid, he stands to gain something.
And we saw, like, how quick these softs are compared to the mediums. The fact that Cyrus was able to get by Moose and catch up to Wid, I don't see any reason why these guys that just pitted for another fresh pair of softs can't make their way back up.
And,
very late if that's fair. Okay. Sorry, I thought you went wide.
No, but Cyrus Nicky on them fresh soft tyres versus Digital Relay that's on them worn medium tyres. So he's certainly going to have that superior grip as he... Oh, I thought he was going to try one up the inside, but of course you've got that right-hander with the immediate left-hander following it. So Cyrus Nicky will have to be a little bit patient, but be aware that PSG Caper and a PSG Lyric are in close proximity of him, as well as Digital Relay leaves the door open and Cyrus up the inside to move up into fourth position. And Digital Relay making a slight mistake there as he ran a little bit too deep and wide, and that is going to afford the opportunity with PSG Caper just in front of PSG Lyric, but Caper will have the inside line for the final turn of lap number 10. But will Lyric try and hang it around the outside? Yes, he will. I think Caper just allowed him through there and provided.
I think you're right. He gave it to him.
Yeah, he gave it to him. Yeah. I was going to say something else then, but I've forgotten now.
and Caper is on the mediums, whereas Lyric is on the softs. So I can see how just kind of letting them through, knowing they're on the quicker tire there.
I mean, but again, right, if you're on the medium and you know you're on a slower tire right now, your one job is to slow anyone on that faster tire up. He shouldn't have let him through. He might not have had a choice there, but he shouldn't have let it. You know, he just gave it to him, literally handed it to him.
But you can feel okay about it with the idea if you can stick with them. As Lyric goes up the inside on Digital.
Oh wait, they're teammates. I almost forgot. Right, PSG. My bad.
Exactly.
My bad.
You have the hope that at the end of the race we'll see them struggle again, and those mediums can reel them back in.
Sure. There's also that. Yeah.
To be honest, it does bring a interesting dynamic because yes, they may be teammates, but this is essentially a single driver championship, isn't it? So,
yes.
Do you let your teammate through and help them in their race, or do you fight tooth and nail and make it as difficult for each other as possible? But it seems like they're both friendly out there.
Yeah, no, that is a fantastic point. Maybe some muscle memory taking over there because so many of us race in a lot of the same leagues, and usually there is a team championship component. Even I forgot that this is a single race championship. There are no teams. We ain't friends.
I think with the teammates here, it's more if I'm gonna crash into somebody, it better not be my teammate, because then you have a whole lot of internal drama going in.
Pretend our lobbies aren't dirty with each other. Come on.
Well, the story in this race at the moment on lap 12, then we've got a flying Cyrus Nicky starting to catch up with S7R Nuke then, who of course is on the medium tyres. He's going to be feeling the pain on them worn medium tyres, and you can see the difference between the medium and the soft tyres now as Cyrus Nicky has closed that gap to within a car length. 0.3 of a second, and closing with PSG Lyric just behind as well. So he's lurking in the background and looking to sweep up any opportunities that is afforded to him. So it's an interesting dynamic for Cyrus Nicky because he needs to get on the attack, but then at the same time not allow Lyric to take advantage if he leaves any doors open for him. So
this is identical to the first stint. I mean, we just exchanged S7R drivers. It was Wid before, Lyric catching up to Cyrus behind Wid, caught up, nobody could pass, and now it's Nuke's turn, but he's got worse tires to do it on.
Yeah, well, it looked like Lyric had the run on Cyrus Nicky, but he closed that door firmly shut on him. So Lyric had to tuck in just behind Cyrus Nicky, but Nicky will get on the defensive now and take that inside line. So Lyric will have to tuck back beneath him use that slipstream and hope that he's got the overspeed to maybe make a late dive. Although Cyrus Nicky, though, looks like he's going to pull up alongside S7R Nuke. He's got that inside line. I think Nuke's going to have to allow him through, but he's got to be wary that PSG Lyric is just behind as well. But he manages to defend him off for the time being as we go into the run-up for the chicane. Cyrus Nicky has successfully claimed that third position ahead of Nuke, but he has got a certain PhD Lyric sniffing on his rear exhaust there, as it looks like Lyric is going to take that inside line ahead of Nuke, and I think Nuke is going to have to concede that fourth position to Lyric, which he does. So Nuke down into fifth position, TKs.
Yeah, and that really helped Cyrus. The fact that Lyric wasn't able to follow him all the way through was huge. I thought Lyric was going to stay on Cyrus's bumper, and they both were going to overtake Nuke. But luckily for Cyrus, Nuke was able to make a little bit of a gap there and let Cyrus run off, and now he can do his best in these closing laps to chase down Moose.
Indeed, although there is a 14.2 second gap between Moose and Cyrus Nicky. So, to be honest, I think Cyrus is going to hope for a miracle, I think, if that is to happen. But the gap between Wid and Moose is around about the same, though, around about 8.5 seconds. So Wid showing that composure and keeping it smooth and in a very, very comfortable position. But yeah, we certainly got a battle brewing up for third position then, because Lyric is just under a second behind Nicky. So with 4 laps remaining, a lot to play for here. And Nuke, well, he's on the dying medium tyres, so he'll be hoping he can hold off Digital Relay in sixth position, of course, on the same strategy. I'm not sure about Almost Podium and Cape. I'm not sure how far behind they are in 7th and 8th. Oh, in fact, there's your answer. Almost Podium is all over the back bumper of Digital Relay, so he's under extreme pressure as he tries to hold on for 6th position, but Almost Podium hits the wall on the outside, and that's cost him time. Lucky he didn't pick up damage, though, and able to live and fight another day. But yeah, PSG Caper is 2.4 seconds behind in 8th position as Digital Relay goes a bit deep again. And they don't want to be doing that, because I'm sure Almost Podium is sniffing at his chances of grabbing that 6th position away from him. So yeah, Digital Relay perhaps really suffering on them medium tyres to really keep the car on the track, to be honest. But yeah, Almost Podium will need to try to grab the optimal line going in, but Digital Relay does cover him off on the inside there, but Almost Podium will have that will have that slipstream as we go up the hill to the final turn of lap number 14, Tattoo.
Yeah, this is very exciting stuff. I mean, Digital Relay is in a good spot. He started in 10th place, so to be in 6th right now and possibly about to lose a position, but no, hey, Almost Podium can't quite get it alongside him. If he can dump some air into that rear wing, though, he will get him in the side drive, but I don't think it's going to happen this lap, unfortunately for him. But Digital Relay doing a great job of holding him up. Even if he loses this position, it's 3 seconds to PSG Caper behind, so he's in a good place here in comparison to where he started the race. He's at one stop of work.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, he's going to have to be a bit patient, but also as well with 3 laps remaining, and with Caper perhaps starting to close that gap. Although he has got a certain Sheldologist just behind him as well, so Caper will have to be wary of him and try to fend him off in the closing stages of this race. Yeah, we've certainly got a battle for about 2 or 3 positions. I think it'll be interesting to see how close Cyrus Nicky is with 4th, which was
Lyric. They are less than 3/10 away from each other.
Also doing really well this race. He started further back as well, didn't he?
Lyric.
Yeah.
Lyric, I think, started in P7 or P8, I think.
And almost Podium just got past Digital Relay. So
But is it a podium?
no, it's for P Steve.
It's almost Podium.
It's almost Podium, exactly.
Lyric, firmly in the draft of Cyrus Nicky as we come across the line to start lap number 16 of 17. Cyrus Nicky is certainly under all types of pressure right now as he tries to keep it smooth through sector 1, but he will stay in front of Lyric for the time being. Lyric, I'm just wondering what he's thinking at this stage, or how he's going to get past Cyrus Nicky, TKs.
Yeah, he's going to have to pull out all the stops. I imagine some dummy moves, make yourself visible in the mirrors. Cyrus obviously knows he's there, but maybe he can get him a little off his line. As check out this little overtake here. Nice and cheeky. Almost Podium up the inside of Digital Relay. Well done.
Well done. I think to Lyric, to your point about Lyric and Cyrus Nicky, maybe some dummy moves, but I think also recognizing and making use of that incredibly long front straight. If he can just get a run on him out of that last corner and use the slip, he can get into the tunnel on the inside there. So maybe it doesn't have to be a whole lot of movement or anything super special. Just back off him a little bit in that corner, get a better run, and get him into turn 1.
Yeah. I mean, it's certainly they're the best places to pass down the straight. Of course, if you can get a good run out of this last turn.
Right here, there he is, setting up wide. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh,
as Tef called it, beautiful sweep around, and Lyric, yes, firmly in that slipstream now.
Cyrus gonna go defensive.
Coupling.
Yeah.
Lyric has got that inside line, and they're going to be side by side, neck and neck as we go into the tunnel section.
Oh, Cyrus!
He's going to hold it on the outside. Comes to no avail though, as Lyric takes that third position away from Cyrus Nicky. Can he come fighting back though with just half a lap to go in this one? Things will suggest that Lyric will finish in front of him, but who knows what will happen as we look on board of Almost Podium, who did make that move on Digital Relay. He's still holding off Digital Relay in 7th position, but he has got Nuke just in front of him, so it's going to be a last lap showdown between Nuke and Almost Podium. We'll see what happens there. We'll have to keep an eye on Wid as well, because of course he's on the final lap as well, but business as usual for Wid, of course. But certainly Almost Podium with a great opportunity to take Nuke's position right at the death. So with just a handful of corners left, we'll see if the Canadian can make the move on him. But we need to get on board with Wid, because it has been dominant from start to finish, and he'll become the first winner of the Division A's to win the race at Grand Valley Highway Reverse. So congratulations to Wid with a brilliant second position, going to Moose 21. So brilliant result for him. And PHG Lyric will finish just in front of Cyrus Nicky to hold on to the last step of the podium to claim third position ahead of Cyrus Nicky GT, with S7R Nuke just in front of Almost Podium. I think he's going to hold off Almost Podium to finish in P5. Almost Podium with a valiant 6th position. Digital Relay with an excellent 7th position, with PHG Caper finishing in 8th, and Sheldologist in 9th, and Louise in 10th position. Filmora grabs 11th. Salamander will grab 12th position, with Bandit grabbing 13th position to round up the top 13 in Division A. But what are your thoughts, TKs?
my thoughts. My thoughts are that was awesome. I mean, Wid did run away with it, but aside from that, like I was watching battles, the battle for third, the battle for fifth, I mean, all the way down. Sheldologist and Caper were battling it out there for P8. Like, there was a great battle for not last between Salamander and I mean, it was just all over the place. That was so much fun.
Indeed. And your thoughts as well, Tessie?
That was absolutely awesome. I was wrong, but I was right. So like, what was great about this race was that both strategies were great. We saw huge gainers on the softs, aka PhD Lyric. We saw people on the mediums who went nowhere, like Nuke, started in fifth, ended in fifth. Some on the mediums who did gain a few positions, some on the mediums who fell back. So a great race where both strategies were viable. It really came down to driver style and skill. Loved it.
And Lyric pulled it off to perfection, starting in seventh and getting up to third with the fastest lap. Like,
yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, did that. Yeah. By the way, TK, speaking of us being Southern, I love that when Lyric made his move in the penultimate lap, we both at the same time were like, there it is.
Yeah. There's certain things.
Indeed, yeah. Well, the podium interview will be coming up shortly, so we'll get the thoughts of the top three drivers after confirming the provisional results of Division A Round 1. So with the first win of the season, with a very dominant display, finishing ahead of Moose 21 with a great second position for him. PhD Lyric, as mentioned, a great race from him, a great fight back to grab third position and the fastest lap of the race with a 1 minute 48.524. Cyrus Nicky will have to settle for fourth position, but still a fantastic performance from him ahead of S7R Nuke, who just managed to finish in front of Almost Podium to grab a fifth position for him and a sixth for Almost Podium. Digital Relay with seventh ahead of PhD Caper in eighth position. Ninth went to Sheldologist, just in front of Louise at the line to finish, for Louise to finish in 10th position. 11th went to Filmora in 11th. 12th position went to PhD Salamander, and 13th went to Bandit 1. Well, yeah, fantastic race, which you have to come to expect at the NRL. It never, ever disappoints. But we've got the podium runners in the interview room now. So we're going to go and interview our race winner. That is Wid. And Wid, congratulations on the race victory. How are you feeling after all that?
Thanks, guys. I'm feeling pretty good. Everything worked out exactly as I hoped it would. So, yeah, couldn't ask for much more, except for maybe a fast lap point. But, oh, well.
Can't have it all, Wid.
Nope.
But, yeah, no, just explain to us your race. You know, it looks like a pretty commanding lead. It looked pretty comfortable for you. Did the race play out how you practiced it beforehand?
Yeah, so there were a few viable strategies going into that race. I felt that the mediums was just a few seconds faster over the course of the race. So I was pretty confident after a few laps still being in the lead. If someone on softs had taking the lead right on first lap and started picking up the pace and moving away from me, then I would have been a bit more focused and worried about how the end might play out. But seeing that I was still in the lead for the first half, I was pretty satisfied.
Yeah, it did work a treat for you, that's for sure. Well planned out strategy. So congratulations to you. Tati, have you got any questions for our race winner?
No, I don't know. Like, how are you so fast? Can you donate a half a second to me? Like, just half. If you could just donate that to me in paste, that'd be great. Thank you.
We'll work on it, yeah.
Appreciate it.
I got a question for you, Wid. First off, congratulations. Great job. I was lucky enough to hop in to a few lobbies that you were in and get to see you perform. Did you know what tires Cyrus Nicky was on? Because there was a point where he was all over the back of you. I'm curious of what was going through your mind as he got past Moose and started to put the pressure on you.
I was pretty sure that he was on softs. Once I saw him pass Moose, I was keeping an eye on that delta, so I saw him getting real close really fast. So I'm like, okay, he's probably on softs. And then I had the broadcast kind of going on out of the corner of my eye and just peeked over, and you guys were focused on him, and I saw that he was on softs. So I was like, all right, well, if he makes a move, I probably won't try and defend too hard, but I was feeling pretty good knowing that he'd have to pit.
That's awesome, man. Well, congratulations. Great victory. Dominant race. You're right. You didn't get that fastest lap point, but your strategy won you the race. So congratulations.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Yep, business as usual for you, Weird, of course, going into this season 5 as a reigning champion. So the absolute perfect start for you. And yeah, we look forward to seeing how you get on in race 2 in a couple of weeks' time. But yeah, congratulations on the race win. And yes, make sure you do celebrate.
Will do, guys. I'm really looking forward to seeing what the next combo is. So y'all have a good
Me
one.
too.
Yes, indeed.
See ya.
Indeed. Thank you, Weird. Okay, so with our second place finisher, it was, of course, MMR Moose 21. Moose, congratulations on that second position. Great race for you. And how are you feeling after that?
Yeah, I feel good. A little frustrated with my off the track. I looked at the Wid's total lap time or total race time, and although he was probably coasting the second half, but my practice race I did today, I was only a half second off of his time, so I ran a 31:11. So I felt like I had the pace to maybe keep up with him if I could stay in the tow, but the wind direction was so different from the practice lobby to the race. I think I was trying to adjust my braking point, and then when I got behind Cyrus, I had the tow also, and I just overshot that last corner and hit some. I don't even know what I hit. The things are huge. That's
well, Moose, tell us how that affected your car then with the difference in the wind direction.
well, the direction of it in practice was the complete opposite direction. So in that corner, all the corners facing that direction, you could brake later. So I was trying to adjust to braking later, and when I was in second, I could brake just after the 200 board, and I tried to do that when I got behind Cyrus, but I had more speed, so I ended up braking the same point but went off. And then when you got down after the tunnel, that hard left-hander, I was actually having to brake early because the wind was going that direction. So on medium tires, you had a little less grip, obviously than you would on softs. So you had to compensate for the wind is just a little bit, but it was enough to get me that off track. I'm fairly convinced that's why I did that.
Well, I mean, to be honest, whether or not you struggled with that wind or not, it was a great performance from you. And to be honest, like Weird is a hard man to catch. So to finish a place behind him in front of all the drivers behind, I've got to give you a huge congratulations for that on controller as well. Although, will you be on wheel? In a couple of weeks' time, or is it not going to come in time?
I think about 2 weeks, but I don't know if I will. If I make it to the finals, I don't know if I would try to jump onto the wheel for that, considering I've been on controller for about 2 months now. So I'm just gonna have to play that by ear. But yeah, Wid's definitely hard to catch. I'm getting about tired of seeing his rear bumper. I know, I know that much, but no, he's just incredibly fast and even more so consistent. And you just don't see him make a lot of mistakes. So I was actually hoping Wid was going to go the soft strategy, and I was going with the medium, and I was hoping to stay within 8 to 10 seconds of him. But I seen he was about 6 seconds ahead when everybody else pitted 6 to 8 seconds ahead, and then he just slowly, pulled away as I end up having a fuel save for the last lap and a half. So yeah, I was just kind of in parade mode for the last 2 laps because I was in no man's land. So
Fair play to you, Moose. TK, have you got any questions?
Yeah, of course. Good job, Moose. And I appreciate you answering some of my questions prior to the race, helping me out get a handle on what drivers are thinking. Thank you for that. So you were talking about how the wind affected you, and then also Cyrus Nicky being on the alternate strategy of you getting ahead, causing some dirty air, causing a tow. What was going through your head as you battled him? And was his overtake more of you kind of just saying you're on a different tire, we're on different strategies, or were you defending him hard?
Initially, I was, just kind of trying to run my race. I had to, obviously I had the toe of Wid for a good lap or two, and that was helping me in the straights. But I could tell that he was catching me. There was one corner that hard left that he was taking really narrow, and I was kind of sweeping, so I was really afraid he would, get my bumper. So I was trying to be a little careful. But when he did make his overtake, by that point, obviously I had realized he was on softs, and he kind of already had the insides, and I didn't want to go through there, side by side. So I let him have it and tried to use his toe, to help pull me up towards Wid because I seen he had more pace, and at this point I knew, judging by Wid's pace, he was on mediums as well. So I was trying to use it to my advantage, and it was working okay until I went four wheeling in the dirt. So, yeah.
Well, hey, to finish P2 after going four wheeling in the dirt, that is great stuff. Really well done, Moose. Good job, man.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
And finally, Tati, any thoughts, questions?
Yeah, sure, Moose. You and I are kind of in similar position where I went back to controller for a little bit, and I found it really, really hard to get back used to it. Are you on a PS4 or 5?
Yeah, I'm on a PS5. But
Okay.
I don't use any of the trigger stuff, the haptic feedback. I was on controller for a
Oh,
long time before I ever got on a wheel, so
yeah,
it's
yeah.
not a crazy to go back and forth for me. I can be relatively quick on either. It's just on a wheel, I'm a little more consistent, and my braking is obviously a little bit better when I'm on wheels. So I would like to be on wheel, but you got to make do with what you got. So this is what I got at the moment.
Sure, absolutely. It's interesting that you don't use the haptics. I was thinking about that too. I mean, I like that you get a little more feedback of tire slip, but and so you're just old school like PS4 controller days, like just no feedback, just straight trigger. Do you use the triggers at all?
Yeah, I use the R2L2 for gas and brake, but I I
What
just
about
kind of
shifting gears?
just X and square. Just
Gotcha,
old school. Yeah.
gotcha.
But it's just visual, and hear tire squeal, and you kind of know when you understeer. Obviously, you're pushing it too hard; it's just going to push out on you, and I just make adjustments from there. But
Yeah, sure
yeah,
thing.
like I said, I'm happy with P2 though. Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Nah, you're doing great. Love that. That's exactly. I'm just impressed by your prowess on the controller. I wish I could get it back, but you're giving me some motivation here. Have a good one. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, and Moose, big congratulations on a fantastic performance. And with round 2 in the pipeline, any combos that you're looking forward to, or maybe Tokyo?
Yeah, I mean, ideally, I could avoid Tokyo, but McNaughty just loves to toss me in there no matter what. But I kind of see what McNaughty's doing here, so I don't want to spoil anything for next week, but I can assume what next week's going to be, or the week after next week is going to be also. So, yeah, I think we're just going to get faster, and they're going to be good combos for us here.
I'm sure you'll be ready and waiting and trying to take that position away from Wid. But again, congratulations on today, and look forward to seeing how you get on in week 2 in a couple of weeks' time.
All right. Thank you guys so much. Have a good day.
Thank you, Moose. Take care.
Yep.
And last but not least, we have our third place finisher in PHG, Lyric. Congratulations, Lyric, on third position. How are you feeling after that?
Pretty good, pretty good. It was a battle with Cyrus, but we got it done.
You did. Saving the best to last, I saw. So in terms of strategy then, do you think it really played out for you? Of course, I think you started, you might need to confirm with us, but I think you started in, was it 7th position or 8th position, was it?
Yeah, 7th.
7th, right, okay. So you made up 4 positions in the race. So did the strategy go to perfection?
I practiced a bunch with Cyrus this week, even after the update there, and we were both consistently getting down.
Oh,
sorry guys, sorry. So yeah, like I said, we were racing. Me and Cyrus were racing together all week, and we were consistently getting the 47.8s, 40. So I just had a crappy qualifying. I caught that penalty in my last flying lap, and it stuck me in the back. I was hoping to be up there with them guys trying to chase Wid down, but
did you was you like surprised that some of the medium runners out there did the no stopper, or was this to be predicted?
Man, I didn't ever see any of the mediums coming. I thought we were all going to do soft, stop, soft.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's a scary circuit, isn't it? Grand Valley with tight track limits as well, isn't it? So I don't blame you for going for the soft strategy there. And again, it was a great performance from you. You made lots of great overtakes and making your debut as well in the NRL. So it's a great way to start off season 5.
Yeah, can't be happier.
Indeed. Well, TK, so have you got any questions for our third place finisher?
Yeah, Lyric PHG. Good job, man. That was fantastic. I mean, you're my vote driver of the day for that race, starting in 7th, making the soft strategy work. I was kind of thinking medium was the way to go. And I mean, what we saw from Wood and Moose, it kind of was there, but had you not had that mistake, I think you would have really been giving them a run for their money had you started up a little higher. When did you realize that other drivers were not on the softs? Or did you even realize that?
You might be muted, Lyric. Or are we having technicals at this stage?
Uh-oh.
Okay. We're not able to hear from Lyric at the moment. Absolutely delighted with his third place finish. That it might be he's gone.
Yeah.
To answer my own question, I guess he would have realized that other drivers were on the mediums when they didn't pit.
Probably. I can't remember or I can't think of it in this moment, but were most of his passes on track or from people pitting? No, because he had to pit.
Yeah,
it would have been on track.
Passes on track.
So just brilliant to make all those positions up on a track where passing is so hard.
Hopefully,
we can hear you, Lyric.
There you go.
Sorry, guys. Sorry.
TK, do you want to rephrase the question you asked?
The question was if or when you realized other drivers were on the mediums, since you were thinking that everybody was going to be doing softs.
I had the broadcast going next to me. I had no clue until you guys said, "Hey, Wid's on the soft or the mediums," and I'm like, "Oh man, he knows something we don't."
Awesome. I'm glad to hear how many drivers have the broadcast up. That's fun to know that it's going, and it's kind of like having an engineer in your ear a little bit, giving you some race information.
A little bit. Are we giving away too much? Are we?
Well, you guys have a good delay, so
Fair
Yeah,
enough, fair enough.
I think there's like a 10 or 20-second delay or something between the broadcast and what we're saying and stuff. But Tati, have you got any questions at all?
I kind of answered my own, but I think maybe we also lost him again. But Lyric, if you can hear me, I did want to know how your passes on track had gone, because this is such a difficult track to make passes at. We did see your pass over Cyrus, which happened going into turn 1. How were your others?
The only other one, hopefully Cyrus isn't too upset with me. I tried to give him a whole bunch of room, and I seen on my radar that he kind of touched the wall there, but
We didn't know many room.
Yeah, that was you did the right thing there.
You tried to hang it around the outside. You had to shut the door.
Yeah.
And then I think it was the first or the second lap coming into the tunnel. We were all bunched up, and I was trying just to hug that wall and get around. I want to say it was Salamander, and somebody caught the outside door of me, man. And I was like, please don't hit the wall. But other than that, the rest of them were pretty clean. It was either they had, worse tires than I did, and nobody really tried to back us or, slow us down. They kind of let us go by when they knew we were coming. So all in all, it was good.
Must be nice.
Yeah, well, Lyric, again, congratulations on the third position. Good job on that one. And I've got to ask you, final question, actually. So with us waiting for the details on round 2, is there any particular cars you favour? Do you favour the race cars or road cars at all?
I really don't mind what kind of car it is, as long as there's ample practice. I mean, you can pretty much learn any car. There's a few tracks that I don't like going to. I seen what was that Friday's Division A got, and I was just praying, thank you, that's not me.
Well, knowing what McNulty is like, if there's rain on one day, there might be rain on the other day. Of course, I don't want to throw too much shade out there, but
Only time will tell.
Yeah, only time will tell. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, congratulations on third position. You've earned yourself a well-deserved rest and celebration as well. And look forward to seeing you in the race not next week, 2 weeks time for round 2.
Look forward to it, guys, and thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Lyric. Take care.
Have a good one, guys. Bye.
Is it time? Is it time yet?
It's not time yet. Because
Take a break.
we are going to take a break. Yes, we're going to take our final break. When we come back, we'll confirm the Division A standings as well as the sneak preview for round 2 of both Saturday Division A and B. So don't go anywhere. We'll be back shortly. Welcome back, everyone, and I hope you are all fully refreshed and ready to find out the standings and round 2 of the Saturday heats coming up in 2 weeks' time. We are going with the standings. I was going to go to the sponsors, but never mind. So, the Saturday Division A standings after the first round are as follows. And Tati, if you can read us through this, please.
First place, you got my teammate with in second place. Oh, sorry, with 25 points. Pardon me. Second place, you've got Moose 21. Excellent performance with 18 points there. PhD Lyric took third place with 16 points. Cyrus Snicky GT close to podium, but not quite. Took fourth place, got 12 points for his efforts. S7R Nuke, my other teammate, fifth place. He's going to get 10 points for that. Almost Podium gets 8 points for sixth. Digital Relay also, but seventh place with 6 points there. PSG Caper will get 4 points for 8th place. Geologist came in 9th place, will get 2 points. Luis in 10th gets the final point. Then you've got Felmora, Salamander, Bandit, and Boku with 0 points each there.
Excellent stuff. Yeah, it's very close indeed. Just to explain as well, the additional point given to Lyric for the fastest laps, and that's why he's got 16 points. So yeah, we've got to give a quick shout out to our sponsors as well. Henke's Tavern, which is established in 1955 in the Old Town of Florissant. The finest cuisine and bar in St. Louis, where you can dine in and dine out, play games and watch all your sports action as well. We give a warm welcome from everyone in the NRL and a big thank you for sponsoring us throughout season 5, because if you ain't first, we're open to 1 a.m. And also as well, our new sponsor for season 5, if you are struggling to balance those books for the end of your tax year, then go and seek out a professional, because they will make your life stress-free and steer clear of tax troubles with a Little J CPA. Big thank you to both Little J CPA and Henke's Tavern for your support and our official sponsors for the NRL Season 5. Right, okay, so I guess we've got to that point of the program where we need to find out what is in store for both Division B and Division A for round 2. Starting off, though, in Division B. So we are at Monza, the no chicane variant, where they're going to be driving the Group 1 car of the Audi R18 TDI 2011 car. It is a 23-lap race ahead of a 10-minute qualifying session. There'll be a grid start with full start check enabled, balance of power turned on with brake balance allowed only. Mechanical damage is set to heavy with tyre wear rate at ×3 and a fuel consumption rate at ×2, with only 2 racing compounds available. It's the racing softs and the racing hard tyres, but none are mandatory. TKs, what are your thoughts on this race?
Well, they're going to be going real fast. This is the temple of speed, and then if you take out the first chicane, I mean, it's going to be all about that exit out of the final corner and then just flying. These cars are heavy downforce. They're going to be slipstreaming. I mean, it's going to be a lot. So we'll see the second chicane be treated more like the infamous first chicane, and hopefully everybody can get through cleanly, because with heavy damage on, it's going to be a lot.
Indeed, and I've never ever driven a Group 1 car around this circuit, and I do wonder whether or not it is still flat out through the Curva Grande, I think it's called, isn't it? Before what would be the second chicane, but is the first chicane for the no chicane variant. Tassie, have you ever had a go with Group 1 cars on this particular circuit?
Yes, it's a ton of fun. It should be flat out in Curva Grande. Maybe with worn hards, it might not be, but even I don't know. These are very high downforce cars. I'm so excited. The Audi R18, man, what an era. This was, first of all, the best looking era of LMP, if you ask me. The best looking car until that last generation. I don't know what they did there, but the R18 TDI was such a cool car. I'm very excited to see this in a race.
Yes, indeed. Yes, certainly a very exciting race for the Division B drivers. It's certainly going to be fast and frantic, that is for sure. But it's also time to check out what is in store for Division A. So we are at the Nürburgring, the GP layout of circuit, and it's going to be 11 laps around here in the Citroen DS3 racing car. Mm-hmm. I think it is indeed. And that is a road car, I do believe, as well, isn't it? So, yeah, 11 laps at the Nürburgring GP layout with a 10-minute qualifying session. There's going to be a grid start with false start check enabled, balance of power turned on, no tuning allowed, more importantly, with a mechanical damage set to heavy. Because it's the sports tyres they're using, the tyre wear rate is at times 15, with a fuel consumption rate at times 5. And this is a bit of a difference in strategy because we've got sports softs and sports mediums available, but both tyres are required in this one. So Tassie, what are your thoughts on this combo?
This very nice. I love a good street tire race. So this car, I mean, it'll be fun, right? This is the GP circuit, but we're going to get all sorts of body lean. The brakes are going to be human. The downforce is going to be human. So the drivers are going to have a very light touch on these cars. They move around a lot on track, so battles and racing together should make for some good action.
Indeed. Can't wait for this one. And TKs, what are your thoughts?
Oh man, I wish I was racing in this race. I love this track. I actually have not used this car, but I'm a big fan of hot hatches. Love sports tires. One thing I've learned, especially when you go on the softer compound, like the sports softs in this car, these cars can get really out of hand under braking. So you gotta have that steering wheel straight, otherwise the back end's coming loose and all sorts of chaos. So I cannot wait. I love the 15 times tire wear. I imagine the softs will not last very long, so hopefully it's only 11 laps, but maybe we'll see a two-stopper. I think we're going to see a lot of drivers practicing and figuring out, with the softs being required, they're at least going to have to do one lap on them. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I'm quite interested really because it's sports tires. Obviously, there's going to be minimum grip. Do the drivers favour the soft tires over the mediums in terms of like running as many laps on the soft tires as opposed to the mediums? Do you reckon, Tati?
Will they prefer the softs to the mediums? Is that what you're asking?
As in, like, run more laps on the softs than the mediums because of the loss of grip.
I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. I mean, I guess if the softs will last, then sure, absolutely. The car will feel better on the mediums, to TK's point, with, very grippy rubber and relatively soft suspension. The car is gonna get out of hand under braking for sure. So, feel might play a part of it, right? You keep the mediums on just to keep the car a little more predictable.
Yeah. And also, I think this might favor some of the controller drivers. I know sometimes in these road cars, being on controller has its advantages as well, depending on what your settings are on.
Yeah, certainly very, very interesting, and can't wait for this one. They've got 2 weeks to practice, but don't miss out on round 2, basically, because we'll be back on the Friday the 11th of April at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. That is hosted by the awesome trio of Toon, Slow-Mo and Leo. So make sure you don't miss that one, as well as us in the Saturday team, of course, myself, Tati and T-Case on the 12th of April at 1 p.m. Eastern time. Make sure that you tune in and hit that subscribe button if you are new to the channel. Hit that bell notification so you don't miss this one. And of course, make sure you smash that like button for this and every broadcast to help out on the YouTube algorithm to spread the word on this event. But so T-Case, obviously we've had two cracking races today. What are your final thoughts and particular driver of the day?
Well, I mean, NRL has yet to disappoint, right? This is season 5, been here since the beginning, and I love that feeling of when we find out what the next races are going to be. It's so fantastic. Driver of the day, I think for me, definitely going to be Lyric there. I think he pulled that off to perfection. And then, for that first race, I thought Pelias Pango did just a fantastic job. So it was good stuff all the way around. So great job, everybody.
And also as well, Tassie, what are your thoughts?
TK, you got to stop having the same drivers of the day as me. Claude, just start asking me first, okay? So I can feel like I'm unique and original, please. I guess, next up for me, definitely Wid. Well done for the Division A race win there. I mean, that was just absolutely dominant. And for race B, I mean, it was so shuffled. Honestly, I'm just going to name several drivers, not by name, but the drivers who all moved up from mid-pack or even the back of the pack, just utilizing that slipstream and getting it together to gain positions in such difficult circumstances was fantastic. Great racing today. I don't know how we're going to be today, but it's only race 1.
Yeah, we've certainly been treated to some amazing racing in round 1, but certainly can't wait for the round 2 in a couple of weeks' time. My driver of the day, I guess I'm going to have to go different then, aren't I? So I reckon maybe Moose, to be honest. Because it was a great performance from him. He had that little moment, didn't he, at the start of the race, but regathered his composure and managed to secure a brilliant second position. So I'm probably going to go with Moose on this one. But of course, let us know in chat as well who is your driver of the day. It'd be interesting to know your thoughts. But that absolutely closes out round 1 of the NRL season 5. It's been an absolute pleasure commentating with Tati and T-Case as always. I hope you had a great time, guys, and look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks' time. But until then, it's a goodbye from T-Case.
Later, y'all.
And a goodbye from Tati.
See you in a week.
2 weeks.
2 weeks, sorry. In a couple weeks.
And it's a goodbye from me. Stay safe. Thank you for watching and see you in 2 weeks. Ciao, ciao.